I'm not feeling all that right today. I'm not feeling
I
100%.
was about to suggest you go back and lay on it.
I without me telling you anything about the fact that I'm talking about a mattress right now,
Yeah.
go back and lay on it sounds very
Oh.
silly. But you know what? That
Go
should be our
back
new
and lay on
slogan.
your helix, that is.
Helix, go back and lay on it. The only thing that got me through last night was sleeping on my Helix mattress because my neck up is not kind to me today, but my back feels incredible. I slept deeply. It was wonderful.
Leona got her big girl bed from Santa, and I finally built it now that Blaze is feeling better. And I may or may not have bought her the Helix Kids mattress, and
Christine.
it's flippable. So on one side, it's like ages 2 to 7 or whatever, and then on the other side, it's more firm and it's like for older kids. It's amazing. And she slept on it a couple nights now, and she woke up and said, I love that. She doesn't really understand what a mattress is, but she's like, I love my bed. She's sprawled out. Like she can sleep sideways, and oh, she loves that thing.
I mean, Leona approved. And
Yeah.
when in doubt, go back and lay on it. Go to
Go back and
helixsleep.com
lay on it,
slash drink.
baby.
Go to helixsleep.com slash drink for 20% off site wide. That's helixsleep.com slash drink for 20% off site wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know that we sent you.
helixsleep.com/drink. What I'll say is go back and lay on it.
Go back and lay on it. You know what I'm saying?
That's my advice for everyone today. And by it, I mean your bed, your mattress, a flat surface, if you will, anywhere that you can just rest.
And maybe not even a flat surface if you are someone that has a dog or children and the mattress just has stuff on it all the time.
I thought you were going to say SVT, and I was like, sure, go
Oh,
upside down if you must.
it's so useful. It's so useful.
Yeah, you could lay down however you want. It's none of my business. But Em isn't feeling well. I did say that to everybody, except I don't mean it to you because we do have to do an episode. But like maybe you can lay down after the episode. Isn't that nice?
I do have plans to lay down.
Excellent.
I always have plans to lay down. But we're okay. We're fine. This is like so annoying. This is the cold that just won't ever end. So
Mm.
it's just very long and dragged out, which I kind of appreciate in some ways because for like 3 days in a row, it's only one symptom at a time instead of feeling like I got hit by
They're
a
just
truck.
like, hello, excuse me. Boop, let me just right over here. Just a quick nose
I know.
run.
My
quick
throat
cough.
my throat was killing me for like 3 days, and I was like, oh, when this is over, at least like no other symptoms are showing up. And then all of a sudden this stupid nose thing happened. So anyway, how are you feeling? Are you in good health, Christine?
Oh yeah. I mean, no. I mean, no. Actively, I'm not, but I'm fine right now. Like, I'm fine. I'm feeling good. I think my blood test results are like all over the place, but I'm feeling good today. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm feeling like, you know, in tune. I'm feeling the
Oh,
opposite of whatever you're feeling, probably.
sure. I think it's like maybe we feed off each other's energy. It's like I can't
I
do
just
this, so
siphon it.
you. No, I meant like I'm not feeling it, so you're gonna have to double up today. You're
Oh,
really,
I see. Yeah, I fill in the blanks. Yeah. That's right. We kind of like contrast each other in that, like overcompensate, you know?
yeah. But I do. I also like the theory that you're just siphoning my energy. That's interesting.
That's fun too. I wish I knew how to do that because I would do it a lot more often.
I do like that. That was your first thought. I'm like, ooh, what does that mean? Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. Hi. Why do you drink this week? Is it because you're not able to function very well?
Um, no, I mean, that could be it, but I don't really have a reason why I drink right now. I've just been like so busy. I feel like I have not been doing.
Lay down. I told you.
No, I've just been running around a lot, and so I maybe that's why I need to
I
why I'm
know.
not feeling
That's what
great.
I'm saying.
Um, no, I've been here and there and over and yonder and up and
Wow.
hither and all that. Typical me. What about you? Are
Classic.
you
Classic jet setter. Classic busybody bumblebee.
Have you been more hither or yonder these days? Which way you been going?
I've been more right hither because it is cold as fuck. It is d- dreary. It is
Mm.
cold. It is the weather's cranky, but you know, it's okay. I drove myself to therapy today. Oh, I got myself this. A Big B iced coffee. Um it is
I love that
it
it's called Big
is
B and like as if it's someone's last name, but the logo is a big B. I love that. You didn't.
I ne- and their headquarters are like up the street from me. I never clocked that one single time.
You said Big
Not
B, and then
once.
you showed me a big ass B on the cup, and I went, "Oh, nice."
That is something that, like, Leona would immediately clock, and I'd go, "Wow, I'm the dumbest person alive," and now you've clocked it, and I feel the same way.
Sorry, didn't mean to
Um,
interrupt you. Okay, so you went to
yeah, it's a big B, I get it now. Okay, wow, good job. I've only
Thanks.
lived here 5 years. Yeah, yeah, it's good. It's good.
What did you get at Big B? What's in that cup?
I'm telling you, it's something called, like, a teddy bear or something, and I was like, "Sure, caramel and chocolate and something, bring it on," you
Great.
know? Sugar it up,
Great. I
Big B. Sugar sugar me up, Big B.
well, I had uh we had neighbors stop by yesterday and I just made small talk with them. I live in an area where the neighbors just kind of approach you and start talking. And
Mhm,
one was this guy who he said that he really liked rockabilly music.
mhm.
And I was like, I don't think I've ever really sat and listened to rockabilly music. And I did mean it genuinely, but I also didn't really think anything was going to come from it. But I said like, "Oh, do you like have any suggestions? Like I've never listened to it. Like what's something I should start with?" And I thought he was going to like throw me a name and I could check it out on my own. But yesterday I came home and there was a thumb drive on my door and he gave me like a whole
Oh, he's been
list.
waiting for the likes of you, my friend,
He
someone to ask.
he's
Oh
dad
my,
aged. He's dad
he's
aged. So
daddy. You be careful with those dads. You ask them one question about a train, and suddenly your stepdad has booked you a tour of the local train yard, and you're like, I mean, thanks.
I
Actually, it wasn't a train yard. That would have been way cooler. My stepdad booked me one of the old water treatment plant tours, and I was like,
and did you have fun?
cool. I haven't done it yet.
Oh, well, that's a nice little mystery for everybody, isn't it?
So anyway, just what I'm saying is this is a cautionary tale on both our parts.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, they're both nice things, but it's sort of like just be aware that there's a risk of like activity or like obligation, you
Yeah,
know?
I really thought he was just gonna say a band name and then I could listen
And then you
to
could
it.
Spotify like a few seconds, be
Yeah.
like, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, instead I got a whole thumb drive.
Also, like, don't give strangers hard drives, you know?
Oh,
I mean, I guess he's a dad age, but I just feel like people shouldn't be giving other people that they don't know like something to put in their computer.
I guess that is the true crime host in you. But yes, you're now that you're saying it that way, I
It's
understand.
also like this, like the neighbor who's, like, hyper vigilant. I'm like, "Don't why are you giving me that?" I don't know. Maybe
There
not hyper vigilant. I mean, I'd immediately put it in my computer, don't get me wrong. I just, like the mystery of a thumb drive feels like the wrong place to share rockabilly music, but what do I know?
I would argue in 2026 it's exactly the right place because
You
if
know,
he could give me a CD, he would have.
as I said it, I realized incorrect, yeah.
There
I think
is
it's right down the lane.
there is a horror movie called Disturbia starring Shia LaBeouf back when we were in high school.
I
And
remember that came out, yeah.
it was about like a homicidal neighbor and like Shia LaBeouf was onto him and the guy did not like that Shia LaBeouf was onto him and then eventually spoiler alert tries to kill Shia LaBeouf.
And then in the background you hear doing 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 doing. I don't know. I
I
don't know what rockabilly is. Don't mail me a hard drive. This is not an invitation for anyone to mail me a fucking hard drive.
well, I'm saying that to defend your theory that like yeah, in 2026 the move would be spreading a virus or a tracker or something on my
It's just kind of
computer.
weird. Yeah, it just feels weird to be like, put this in your computer. I
I see where
promise.
you're
And
heading.
it's in a Ziploc bag. Like, I don't know. It just, I get it. Like, this is something like my stepdad would do. So I'm not saying it's anything menacing. It's just like, if you pull out a little bit, you're right. It's like a true crime. Like, huh, how weird. Someone dropped off a,
This would be an easy way to get me. I'll tell you that.
right,
I
right.
Cuz I'm going to do it. And if I do go missing and all of a sudden there are some weird cryptic messages coming out of my Instagram saying that like I was really into like western swing, you'll know
Maybe,
what happened
or
here.
you've just gotten really into rockabilly and it's taken you on a journey, a musical journey that you could never have expected.
Maybe I anyway, I'm very excited. I thought it was very sweet and
That's a
neighborly.
wonderful reason to drink. I love a nice neighbor. And by the way, my neighbors are lovely and have given me all sorts of things. So I'm not saying I don't take gifts from people. I actively do.
No, I think it's
I just like to critique from afar.
no, it's classic Christine, I think, to know better when it's not you, but it's also that's also very me too, where I'm like, you shouldn't do that, but the second it's gonna happen to me, I'm
Oh,
like,
absolutely. But let's
well,
do it. Yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
plot, I'll do
100%.
anything. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
No, totally get where you're coming from.
I
So
can't wait to hear about it though.
I hope I like it because it'd be really, I'd feel bad for him if he spent all the time finding exactly the right songs and putting them on a thumb drive just for me to like not like it,
Well,
so
maybe he just has like a bunch of thumb drives, and anytime somebody says it, he's like, here you go.
now that's exactly
Although
the way, maybe.
it did take him a day to do it, right? So like maybe not.
Yeah, and also I'm like, I hope he had a thumb drive just laying around. Like, what if he went out and bought a thumb drive and now he's spent money on I really
Well, then that's a him problem, seriously.
I
Okay,
know, but
now we're getting into like, okay, true crime's coming back. Why are we doing this? Like, just email a person, or just write it down.
I just
But like,
I wonder how much effort got put into it, and then so I really feel like I need to sit down and listen to this, like old
I
school,
hope he
listen to
listens to
the whole
this and is
song.
like spiraling out about the way that I'm behaving or like reacting
Oh,
towards him. I don't mean it personally, I promise. I just like to, you know, devil's advocate sometimes.
I hope there's at least one song that really sparks something in me, so that way when I do speak to him, if I don't like any of the others, I can at least stick to this one song,
Yeah, yeah.
Or oh, I like that one kind of. So then I moved on to
This
other
is like
artists, and I
a
like this
sitcom
one.
episode though, like or a sitcom trope. You have to be so careful because if you're like, "Oh, yeah, it was all really good," then he's going to be like, "Great, there's a concert this weekend." Like you have to be
That's
so
true.
careful with this. Like you have to play your cards really carefully. And if you're listening to this neighbor Greg or whatever your
He's
name
already
is,
bought the tickets. Oh no.
oh my god, I'm so sorry he's
He's
crying onto the
slowly bringing the cursor
no.
away from purchase now.
But the tickets were like on some sort of like he had to like hard put them on he was going to put them in another hard drive. I don't know.
He
This feels
printed them
like
out and gave
he
me
printed them
a
out.
hard copy.
MapQuest.
Anyway, wish me luck on my rockabilly journey. And by the way, if any of you or your stepdads, or dads or uncles or like insanely older brothers have some interest in rockabilly and know what you're talking about, please leave that in the comments so that way I have something to talk about with him when he eventually asks how this went. You know what I'm saying?
Or any gendered person can probably be into rockabilly, I assume. I don't know if
I'm
that's the case though.
I'm I'm working with stats here. I'm working with the
Okay.
likelihood. I feel like it's
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. And I do actually wonder there is a band that my stepdad loves and I'm like, that's not rockabilly, is it? Because then I would have
ooh.
somebody perfect to send your way.
Maybe we should just put that guy and Tim on speakerphone at the same time and just have them talk to each other through our phones. That'd be really neat.
Okay, like it literally is saying Elvis Presley. I'm like, is there just Elvis Presley on that hard drive? He's like, you'll
Maybe.
never believe what I've curated for you.
And you know what? I don't even really know what rockabilly is. Maybe I've listened to it a million fucking times and I
That's what
love
I'm
it.
saying. Like, I don't understand what it is. It sounds fun,
We'll
like
find out, sure enough.
boogie woogie. I mean, how could you go wrong with that?
Anyway, that's my journey this week. That's my assignment.
Oh, you're gonna love this shit. Doo-wop, acapella.
Oh, I
Oh
love
my god.
doo-wop.
I
Okay.
know you do. I know you do.
I do love doo-wop. That's probably one of my
What if the
favorite
first song is
categories.
Sunshine Lollipops?
That song, talk about
What
something
if
that'll
this was
haunt
an
me.
elaborate prank that I pulled on you?
What
Now
if
that
you
would be
paid
funny.
him to bring me a
That would
thumb
be
drive just of that song?
funny. And I'd be like, Em, don't put the thumb drive in. You never know what could be on there.
And
And
you're
you
just
fall right for my trap.
Rick rolling me. Great, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the version of Rick rolling that we do, which is Leslie Gore. Doesn't
Yes.
have quite the same ring as Rick rolling, but
Well, now your turn. Why on earth do you drink? And I swear to God, if you have a neighbor who's gonna make you learn polka or something, that
I
would be very funny.
mean, I have all sorts of fun neighbors with all sorts of fun plots and plans. I wouldn't be surprised. But why do I drink? Oh, well, after we recorded a listeners episode yesterday that's coming out soon. I guess yeah, when will it come out? Probably like right around the
Well,
time.
it'll come out February 1st because it was our.
Yeah, sorry. I mean like in comparison to this episode, like I don't know if
Oh, I see.
it's
I think next week.
okay. So it was really fun. I won't say too much about it because
Oh no, it comes out on Sunday on our.
oh yeah, the first. So the week after this episode.
Yeah.
So, I won't get into too much detail, but we and I know people don't necessarily love all the guest episodes, but we're just having so much fun with the people that have come on, and like we had Eliza Kelly on, who is she's a great astrologer, just really cool person, and she brought our birth charts and did some like reading, and we like read birthday related listener stories. It was really fun, but I just was like kind of shook by the explanations, and it was like pretty brief, like that discussion in general, but like explaining your Virgo rising
Mhm.
and like my Aquarius. I mean, I was so like taken aback because she literally like quoted some of the things that you and I do. Like at one point she's
Yes.
like, basically Christine's attitude is like, she doesn't say attitude, I say attitude, is like this is really important, nothing matters. Like nothing matters and you have to be serious about that.
Yeah.
And like there's like a whole in joke in our Geo's trio about how often I say nothing matters, and it would just like was such like a whoa moment. And then I felt like all day yesterday and today I've been having a lot of synchronicities, like really weird ones.
Mm.
And yeah, and then I went to like research a story. I'd picked it, but I didn't know the details of it. And I go to read the story, and the first bullet points are June 3rd in Norway. And like that was the first story we read, was like
Oh, yeah.
a birthday story in Norway. It's just weird. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, but I'm on the lookout for synchronicities. So today we can see if any pop up. I'm on
Well,
the hunt.
let me know if you find any rockabilly in your Kentucky town later.
Yeah, I mean that'll be the least synchronistic thing ever. That'll just be like, oh, of course, you know.
Well, I got some other things to divulge to you as we go through
Mm,
my story. So maybe if any of those sound particularly odd, we'll manifest that being what the synchronicities
I
are
love
later.
it.
Something like that. I said in a lot of words and I don't even know
I don't know
if
what you said, but I love it.
I think I knew what I meant. Anyone
I
else?
thought I did, and then by the end, I think maybe I went the wrong way. Like I took a left turn.
I hear ya. I think my brain also halfway through went, hmm? But
I also think you said divulge, and I went, divulge, that's a great word. And then I forgot where we were going, you know? And then
what
I thought,
a
I'm the divulgee. And then I went, that's not anything. Yeah. I was just having a whole train of thought over here.
I think my brain is not here today. She has checked out. What's
Yeah,
what's
I'm
the
supposed to be
phrase?
overcompensating.
Left the train
Um,
station.
she's left the station, left the train station,
Specifically. Anywhere else, she's
specifically.
still there, but the train station, she's gone. Okay, so I was planning on originally. I told you last week I have an alien abduction story I've been doing for you.
Yes.
I plan on that being this week, but then as you know, this how this goes. Right when I thought I was done, I found some stuff documentary wise that I would like to watch before I officially
Hmm.
finish the notes. So the alien's getting pushed back again. Sorry, everyone.
Classic. All right. Skims wants to hear my personal experience. Ready?
Hmm. I do.
You hear that?
I did, and she sounded snappy.
Snappy but so soft. A little X-rated, R-rated, PG-13 rated ASMR. We are talking about Skims today. They just kind of get like the comfort thing, I think, but also like you feel cute when you wear it, you know? It's like a good combo, which I feel like is very difficult to find. As you can hear from my PG-13 ASMR,
Hmm.
I do wear it.
Yeah, it's very, very cute. They have their lightweight cotton ruched back hipster, and
Oh, it's very cute, in
they
case
ha-
you're wondering.
they have their Skims cotton jersey full brief, which love something cozy. I feel like that one looks cute and comfy. It's very
You gotta
sleepover
have some
vibes.
full, yeah, some full briefs in the mix, you
Yeah,
know, for
yeah.
that kind of night.
Oh, yeah, no, we're big fans. I have used them for many a holiday gift, so thank you,
Yes,
Skims.
it's a good
And
gift.
you could shop our favorite bras and underwear at skims.com.
After you place your order, be sure to let them know we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select our show in the drop down menu that follows. And if you're looking for the perfect gift for your Valentine or for yourself or for me, the Skims Valentine's shop is now open.
Ugh, I'm so hungry and I don't know what I'm going to eat tonight. Just kidding. I do because we have Hungry Root in moments like today where I'm not feeling so good. I really don't want to have to think about what it is that I'm going to make for
I
myself.
know.
And all the ingredients are here.
They
It's
plan it
so
all for
wonderful.
you.
So
And then
wonderful.
they also send like a custom cart. So, like, they have figured out pretty quickly that we don't have a lot of time in this house. Who does? And like, Blaze was like, oh, thanks for buying like bagels and stuff. And I was like, I didn't do that. Hungry Root just sent them and was like, you'll probably need these this week. We ate them every morning for a few days and we're like, thank God. I mean, I don't know what I would have done, but it's like they know you, you know, and then they send you a little shopping cart and they're like, we got it.
They know us. They know
You
us.
know me.
They know what I want to eat. And today it's just soup, but it's okay. They know me. No, Hungry Root is incredible. They hold all of their food to the highest standards and they make it incredibly easy to get going and actually stick with your New Year's resolutions if you have one. If you're all about healthy eating, they're just very wonderful.
Yes, you are going to love Hungry Root as much as we do. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/drink and use code DRINK.
That's hungryroot.com/drink, code drink to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. You know what I don't like about the word anything? Is that
Hmm.
when people have that one specific British accent, they say anything.
Oh, it drives me no, I think that's a lot of time yes, but also that's how my friend taught me to clock an accent when someone was faking an American accent. Because Portia de Rossi in Arrested Development says anything,
Mm.
and it's like that immediately I'm like, "Oh, I hear it."
I don't know why it gets me. I don't know why that's like the opposite of like an ear candy
Mhm,
for me. It's
mhm.
like ear
Ear
poop.
ear broccoli.
Yeah, ear
Oh.
broccoli is a good
Ear
one.
I was gonna say ear trash. Ear poop is a wild one.
No, I and there are so many things about those accents that I do enjoy, but the anything really gets me. I think I
Anything. I actually like it.
oh fuck, well.
Anything. No, I don't.
Oh, well, maybe in 5
Remember
minutes you'll
though,
feel
I've
different.
I've never lived down the sun-dried tomatoes thing because that night I made a sun-dried tomato dish and it was so good. And Blaze was like, the next day I heard the episode and goes, "What the fuck, Christine? Like you literally cooked this last night." I was like, "I don't know. I think I just got like amped up about hating sun-dried tomatoes and forgot that I do kind of like them."
I keep hoping that happens for me on a few foods. I'm like, I hope I'm talking a lot of big game and it's actually going to be delicious. But there are some things I'll eat and I'm just
No,
like,
and
get
then
the
I think
fuck
about
away from
sun-dried
me.
tomatoes and I'm like, "That's gross." But the only place I like in a pasta, fine, but it's just not my thing. So you know what, Blaze? I stand by it. Fuck sun-dried tomatoes.
That was a momentary lapse.
Man,
That was a crazy day.
that was also like 3 years ago, so everyone's like, "What are you even talking about?"
Oh
But
yeah, well,
I think about it all the time. I'm like, people are out there thinking I hate sun-dried tomatoes, and I eat them regularly.
you did have that moment for a second too, I think, with croissants, didn't you? Where like there
A
was like
moment, a lifetime.
no, where like I think there was a moment where you've
Oh,
regularly openly hated croissants, but I think there was like one croissant that you like didn't actually hate,
you
right?
know, when I was pregnant with Leona, that was my big secret.
Yeah. Oh, did I just spill it? Sorry.
No, I spilled it all over my bed, and the crumbs went everywhere. I ate croissants during that pregnancy, and I remember being like, "It's time for me to come clean." And some people in my family were like, "Oh my God." Like they were actually like very shocked. And
I mean, that's how I would expect people to be if all of a sudden I start eating like cilantro or something.
yeah, it feels like really shocking. You're like, "Wait, my body is like has been lying to me or it's lying now?" I don't know.
Um, Worst thing about Allison is that her favorite food is croissants, and she
Ugh.
tries to be a bed and a couch eater, specifically with the croissants. And I'm like,
Yeah, same.
there's have a line, you know?
She and I have this very no wonder we live together. She and I have very similar tendencies.
Allison, man,
We used to
she
go get a Reuben from the
oh,
campus
she loves a
restaurant.
Reuben.
Oh, I know. And we would sit and split it and eat in our beds. And I'm like, the amount of sauerkraut we probably like dropped in our beds. If you had seen us back then, it's really
Foul.
cringy.
It's the fact that like she is, and I love her to death. She is the messiest eater when it comes to crumbs. Like she's not like sauces are fine, shockingly, but crumbs everywhere. I've seen her at a cafe not be able to wait when she got her croissant, and then she just stood there and ate the croissant. And when she left, there was clearly a spot where she had been standing, and then a ring of
She'd
crumbs,
left like her own imprint of her
like a
footprints.
crop
Yeah.
circle, a croissant circle, and
A croissant crop circle. Now that's a new one.
well, so and
They
she
are crummy, those things.
She was just telling me that she's at her sister's house, and her sister also is not for her eating on the couch. Her specifically because of her history.
Oh, right. She's listed. She's on the list.
Yeah, and she's like, "I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine." As she's eating chocolate chips, and then I'm watching them,
Chocolate chips,
and then
Allison.
she's like sitting on one because she doesn't know she dropped it, and now it's melted into a
Yeah.
couch, and I'm like, "Oh my god, get up!" Anyway, if you are an Allison in the relationship, just like
Me.
check the couch,
Me. Oh,
please.
yeah. This is when I think like, wow, yeah, there's some similarities there.
I would like the next couch we get to be like some sort of like wipeable surface, like a pleather or something. And just because of the crumbs. I'm like, it would be so much easier. Otherwise they're just getting
Yeah.
smushed in there and you can't do
Yeah.
anything with the fabric. Anyway,
I just bought a light pink velvet couch. So how do you think that's gonna go? I don't know what I'm thinking. Like I'm
I
out of my
don't know how
mind.
that's gonna go. But it sounds pretty.
Thank you. It is, I think. It's very cozy. I spent 5 years trying to pick a couch for our downstairs, and we just had this giant one that didn't fit properly from our old house. And I
Mm.
finally picked one, and it's like the kind where you can like lay fully down on it. But like then I'm like, I don't ever want to get up. So it's sort of like double-sided problems. But anyway.
You're really trying to change out the bisexual stereotype of a green velvet furniture with the
Yeah,
gold trim.
I got rid of them.
Why?
I can't stand it anymore.
They were cute.
I'm over this already. I'm like, I've moved, and then I keep being like, why do I just suddenly not like the things that I used to like? And I'm like, well, it's been 5 years, and
I guess
like,
so, yeah.
it's not that like, it's like half a decade, you know? So I feel like a lot of things that were like in that I thought were like really cool and timeless. Now I'm like, eh,
As a dark green loyalist, though, those were good purchases. I don't care
I
that they were a
know.
stereotype that you were fully fulfilling. They were beautiful.
I got kind of overwhelmed by gold accents. I got overwhelmed, you know what I'm
Understood.
saying? Like, I don't know, there are just certain things where they would just annoy me, and
I
they were
don't
never
love the
quite
gold.
comfortable.
I don't love the gold, but I did love that green.
No, and I think it's just it wasn't me. Also, like, they were so gross because I just feel like Leona would just like
Oh,
run in the room with her hands and just like. Anyway, someone wanted them off the internet, off Facebook Marketplace or whatever. So
beautiful.
it's their problem now. It's their lesbian problem now, or whatever it was.
It's
Their bisexual problem.
they're they're big fat lesbian issues.
Th-
Yeah. Uh,
it's their rockabilly lesbian issue now.
okay. Well,
Anyway, what were we talking about? I'm
I
so
was I was trying
sorry.
to pitch forever ago that this is not the alien story I
Oh,
promised
the
you.
croissant story. I started talking about croissants. I'm so sorry. Wow,
Um,
that was like one of the longest tangents that we didn't realize was going. Well, I didn't realize was going on until way too
I
late.
love when we talk ourselves into such a circle spiral that we even were like, I lost
That we have
track.
to start over at the beginning.
100%. Hmm. Okay, so this is in, and tell me if I'm wrong. Czech Republic, is that still what it's called now?
That's correct. Yes,
Czechoslovakia is not
Czechoslovakia
what it
is
was.
the.
Okay.
Hmm.
Sorry, my hair is literally not that I'm making it better, but God, it's just like a nest up here. Okay. Um,
I like it. It looks like 90s,
like grungy and gross, and like I'm like a
no,
bad
not
boy.
grungy. No, no, like just like out of the like flip your hair out of the way. You know,
Thank you. I don't
grungy
agree.
and clean. Grungy and clean.
Thank you. I need a cutter. Anyway, this is in the Czech Republic. This is 30 miles from Prague. This I know what I was doing. I
Oh,
was
the
trying
aliens.
nope, even further back. I was trying to find the person who suggested this. Because then I
Yeah.
said the anything. Oh God, it became a whole.
Oh my God! Wow, we
That
just
was
have
17 years ago. Isn't that
we
crazy?
need to get our shit together, dude.
So this is from Alexi.
Okay.
Shout out Alexi. Oh my God. Shout out Alexi. And this is the so sorry here, giving it a shot. Uh Houska Castle. It is
Sounds
also
right to
sometimes
me.
it's also sometimes called the Hrad Houska, but I'm going Houska
Now
Castle.
I'm out of my element. I have no idea, but sounds good.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Houska Castle. So it's 30 miles from Prague. It is in the middle of deep, heavy woods, like in a whole forest,
I love this.
surrounded by mountains. It's kind of swampy. Like just imagine like the world's greatest Renaissance LARPing Hobbit quest, just middle
Right, like it
of
feels
fucking
like an
nowhere.
actual fairy tale castle. Like it's out in the middle of nowhere, like far, far away.
Yeah, well,
Wood.
yes, that's a good place to start. Um,
30 minutes from Prague, but still.
just
I've been to Prague. I don't know if I've been to this castle though. I was like
what were you
16
doing in
and very
Prague?
recalcitrant. What?
What were you doing in Prague?
We've talked about this because I bought that shirt that you wanted that said "Check me out,"
Yes.
and I owned it for years. And then when I came home, like after moving to LA to look for it in my closet, I'd like donated it because I was gonna show it to you.
Ugh, I love
But yeah, I
that.
had a check me out shirt. But yeah, I went there in high school. So stupid long story, but I was 16 and listened to Fall Out Boy on my iPod Nano like the whole time, so I wasn't paying much attention to like what we were doing.
Yeah, it's wasted on the youth every
It
time.
is, isn't it?
Mhm.
It's like embarrassing. Like I wish I knew, but I've heard of it certainly.
That's why I'm doing this stupid 50 states thing. I probably would be done by now, but I have to go back and re-enjoy
The
places I didn't
ones,
give a shit
yeah.
about one.
But I think that's integrity. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I
You're
appreciate that
welcome.
because I'm really struggling over here. My mom and I are doing a trip soon to Jersey, where I was literally fucking born there. I've been to Jersey, but I don't
Yeah,
have like
yeah, yeah.
any.
You've been there.
But I don't have any like
In
solid
fact, it's the first
memories.
place you ever went, which is pretty incredible.
Well, I know. Actually, the best part is that the memory I'm going to be making there is we're going to go to the house, the first house I had, and we're going to go do a little knocking on the door and see if we can take a look
Well,
around.
shit.
I know.
That's cool.
I love that shit. And they'll probably say no, but whatever. It worked last time, like 2 years ago. I knocked on a childhood door and people let me in. So
Maybe I say a child's door. I was like, well, certainly don't do that.
wait a
Please.
no.
But what? Wait, which door did you knock on
um
2 years ago?
whenever we were in Sleepy Hollow, whenever that was,
Oh,
I remember I stayed behind to hang out with my family. We did
yeah.
one of my dad's childhood houses.
Oh, wow. And they said, did they say yes?
Oh yeah, they showed us the whole thing.
Oh, nice.
But it was actually really funny because we we were just gonna drive by and my aunt was gonna show us it. And just be like, oh, there it is. But we happened to see the people coming home in that exact moment, like pulling up in the driveway. And I was like, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something. And then
Now that's fate, I think.
I was like, hi, where I was pointing out my aunt and I was like, she used to live here when she was a kid. And they literally went, Tracy?
No.
And they were like, we still get your mail. And she's like,
No.
and she hasn't lived there in like 40 years and they still get her
Okay, you
fucking
know
mail.
what? I feel like I would know like at least 6 residents who I've never heard of these people except for like every now and then I get a letter and I go, this must be a really old person, like tenant or somebody.
Yeah.
And I would be like, Greg?
I have
know.
told previous owners that I've passed that lived here. I'm like, if you ever want to come in and see what we've done with the place, you're more than welcome to. But one of them still gets their mail sent here, and used to be a producer at MTV, and clearly they hadn't changed the mail address in time, and they're doing something. Or they were doing something with the Oscars because we literally started getting envelopes that were like confidential and it said like for your consideration. And I was like,
Fun.
do I have the fucking nominations in my house? And I never
But
opened.
how many times do you think that happens in LA where they're sent to like
I know.
because people move all the time out there. I'm like, I bet that happens a lot.
I know. We still have it and I was afraid like she might need it and I'd have to mail it and she couldn't there couldn't be a big rip through it and me like
No, not at that point.
so I
No,
never
no.
touched it. But the Oscars have come and passed and she never reached out, so I kind of just want to open it and see what I have at my house, but that's still a federal crime, so I'm not going to say anything else.
But that's still a
Um,
federal crime that I've now discussed publicly.
I
So
want to. I never said I will. The end. Okay. Hey, remember we're in the Czech Republic, so
Yep.
we're in the forest. We're talking about a castle. The very first known structure in this area, by the way, goes all the way back to like the 9th century.
Woo!
Yeah, old. And even before that, there's evidence in the area that people were around literally since the beginning of time. There's like at the very least since the 6th century, pre-6th century.
The beginning of time.
Like,
the 6th
I think the
century.
word I saw in a few sources was since antiquity, like just a vague
Okay.
sense.
I love phrases like that.
I know. It's like even you don't
Mhm.
know really.
Yeah. Come on, admit it.
So but the first known structure was in the 9th century. What we care about is getting all the way to the late 1200s. Because that's when the castle itself was built here for the first time. Like it was
Okay.
the other structure's gone. Um so I want to describe this castle to you so it makes sense because architecturally I think it might be a little odd and it is important to the story. Um so the castle, it looks like a square, like a
Okay.
square building, but the inside of it is hollow where there's a courtyard. So it's almost as if it's
Mhm.
a inverse wraparound
Mhm.
courtyard. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Um and I do also want to mention because just for the eerie symbolism of it all, it is out in the middle of the woods, but it's sitting on a cliff, and this cliff happens to be made of limestone.
Oh,
And
spooky.
limestone is notoriously haunted grounds.
It's an amplifier.
100%. Thank you. I would have not remembered that word. So it is on a limestone cliff. It is this big square, but also hollow on the inside castle that gives it an inside, a built around courtyard.
Mhm.
Um, and I also want to say, fun fact, that this castle is one of the best preserved castles of its time, and it is probably one of the oldest surviving castles in the country. It
Wow.
was likely built because it was so old and long ago. We have to kind of just go off of what we know history wise. It was likely built for the current king at the time, and he said he wanted to turn this into basically, although a castle, really just like an administrative office for royal properties. It was kind
Oh,
of,
boring.
I know, womp. Um, and the castle was occupied by several different noble families for centuries, like all the way through the 1700s until the castle kind of fell into
Mhm.
disrepair. So from the 1200s to the 1700s, noble people are living there nonstop. But there's a few things, again, about the construction that I would like to point out that are very odd about this castle. So, one of the first real things people noticed about this castle being built at all was, why does this castle exist? Why is it out here in the middle of fucking nowhere in the woods? We're calling it an administrative office in
Mhm.
30 miles from a major city in the 1200s, when 30 miles from a major city is very far
Right.
away.
In the woods and not like an easy path. Yeah.
And like, why would you build an administrative office where in theory people are going to be working in and out of there
Yeah.
in a forest and swamp as well? Like, it could have been built much closer, with much more access.
I guess if you are building like an HR office, you're kind of like put them in the swamp, you know.
Yeah, I guess the swamp was like the industrial park of the 1200s, maybe.
There you go. Yeah, see?
But
The industrial park, yeah.
but then also the question is, why wouldn't you just build a building? Why is this thing a castle? Like, why is this a
Fair point.
full fortified defensive structure?
Right.
And yet it is built so far away that there are no trade routes anywhere nearby. So that doesn't make sense. It's
Mhm.
not a good area for hunting, so it's hard to get food. This place
Mhm.
didn't have a water source. And then there were like functionally things missing in its construction, including a kitchen, some staircases were missing. It just seemed that there was,
What?
it's very odd. And on top of that, there was, I mean, like the no trade routes thing, there was no strategic importance for this being out all the way out in the essentially boonies.
Yeah.
It had no functional use because it had no kitchen, no way of making food, no water. You couldn't get to certain areas easily throughout the castle. So in some ways, it felt like this was more of like a decoy safe house.
Right. If something feels off, it's like the uncanny valley castle, you
Yeah.
know. It's like just
Yes.
not really quite shaping up.
Even people in town were like, "You built a whole ass castle. How expensive was that?" And you built it seemingly for no reason, because who's going to
Mhm.
even go out here unless they have to? It feels like a like intentionally isolated. So the locals were very curious as well. So I'm sure that also helped spark conversations about this place and built up rumors and things like that. And the thing that they found the weirdest was that all of the defensive walls, which would usually be on the exterior of a castle, like to have any fortifications, anything that's going
Mhm.
to keep people out, none of that was on the outside of the castle. It was all on the inside facing the
Don't
courtyard.
say that. Ew, facing the courtyard, so like facing inward?
Yes, they were.
Ew,
So,
like to keep something in?
as if, this is a quote, as if the castle had not been built to keep an enemy outside, but rather to keep something inside from getting out.
Yucko.
If you would like to Google the castle, this would be a good time, just so you can see what I'm talking about the
You know,
courtyard.
I wasn't Googling, I was going through my old photos to see if I had been there before. Um, I went
H.
to
Oh,
the Prague Castle, which I'm assuming is a different thing,
I think so.
and I went to the National Theater. So, nope.
That's
And then I took a bunch of pictures of like strangers wearing camouflage. So I think that I was not in the right headspace to be taking pictures of the
no
even if
worries.
I did go there. Okay, let me Google it.
It's
Oh
Houska.
yeah, this is oh no, I've not been here. I think I would remember this. This is the drone shot.
Yeah, so you can see that the inside is completely hollow and protected with fortified walls for no reason.
Eek.
And then the front of the castle, or like the exterior part of it, doesn't look like it's trying to protect itself from anything. Like, there's no moat, there's no tower.
No. Let me send you this picture because, like, imagine. I mean, I know you've seen it, but imagine like building this way back in the day, not knowing what it looks like, and then now we have like drones and can get photos like
I
this that I
know.
just sent you.
I
Like, talk about vision. You know, before we had were able
truly,
to
the
see
fact
stuff
that they
like
were
that,
able to build something like
like
that and not know how it would
conceptualize
look,
it. Yeah.
insane. But so, yeah, it looks like
Okay.
this.
Super weird. Super weird.
So now the thought is, this thing, it was built around something to keep it from escaping.
That's not great. Okay.
Another thing that was odd about it, which this is even before a castle was there, people were already aware of this very odd part of that area of the woods, which is that on this cliff top made of limestone, there was a crack in the rock that was known to be so deep it was essentially a bottomless pit. You could never fill it.
Oh.
And nobody knows how the hole or the crack got there. But people would claim at night that in that area they would see otherworldly winged beings crawling out of the hole and taking off and flying through the woods.
I see. I see.
So it became known by the locals, do not go near this hole, especially alone, especially at night. The creatures might hurt you, they might want to scare you, they might be from hell itself. But so
Mm.
it was just terrorizing this village because they were like, fucking demons are crawling out of this random hole that cannot be filled no matter what we do.
Yeesh.
The pit became known as the hole to hell.
Oh.
It's literally been written about since the 1500s. Like people were
Oh my
talking about this.
god.
At least the 1500s. That's I think the one of the first documentations I at least saw of it. But it was called the hole to hell. It was thought to be a gateway or portal for demons to escape hell
Mm.
and crawl back to earth.
Okay.
And when the castle was built, or right before the castle was built, the locals were trying to fill this hole. They were like, this sucks. Like, I really want these demons to stop coming out at night. I'm so scared. So they would start trying to put rocks down there and fill it up as much as they could. But no matter how much an entire village worth of rock holders could get
Hmm.
up there and put big ass rocks down there, it would not only never fill up, but they still would never even hear the rocks hit the ground.
Ooh, creepy.
It would just go and go and go. Keep in mind, I do want to say from a modern mindset, and I feel like someone could have said this back then too. They were trying to drop a rock at the top of a cliff
Mm-hmm.
and then it just keeps going down. It could have been a crevice all the way down hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and
I was
hundreds
gonna
of
say that
feet.
drone shot really gives you an idea, like how elevated this place is, or like how
Yeah.
out there, up there.
If we were starting on like my lawn and there was a hole that deep, I'd go, where the fuck is this going? But if you're starting on a cliff, you are already so elevated, you have to assume that
Yeah,
something's going to fall for a long time when you throw it down there. Whatever.
yeah, it's not a good sign.
um, so anyway, they assumed it was hell. And the mystery endless hole kind of which insert dirty joke there. Um it had so much intrigue throughout the town that some stories say king, some say duke, but a nobleman, I'll say, who was living there at the time, he was so determined to figure out where the fuck this hole ended that he would go to the prisoners on death row in the area and he would offer them full pardons if they would agree to be lowered down and report back what they saw.
Oh my god, I thought he was just gonna drop them down and see if he. And I was like,
You
that's
get a full
insane.
pardon if I can
I
kill
was like,
you.
for what? Okay, okay, okay. But still, like, still problematic. Well,
Yes.
obviously, but like, okay, so you're lowering
And also like
a
it wasn't
death
like
row comic down
it wasn't
there,
a of this century modern construction crane. It was literally a
right?
piece of frayed ass rope.
Or a modern death row where we would know even like what this person did.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is alarming. Okay, so he wants to lower them down in some sort of contraption, I imagine.
I literally think it's a lasso held by multiple people and you just hope that they don't get tired and drop you.
And you're like, well, it's just a guy from death row. Don't worry about it if we
Right.
accidentally let go. I mean, what the hell? This is a terrible idea.
Well, one prisoner agreed. He was like, "I'll give it a shot."
And then I say, I'll do it. You know,
Right.
like
And
that's what I
honestly,
meant in the beginning, where I'm like, what a terrible idea. Sign me up.
if I were on death row, I don't know, maybe I would do it.
I'd do it.
Yeah. Um and so he was lowered down and they lowered him further and further and further and further. And it was just silent the
And
whole
then he
time.
untied the rope and was like,
Catch me if
"Ready
you
to run?"
can.
Yeah, and I'm gonna not say anything.
That's
That'd be
actually
nice.
I wonder if that was their thought. Like, if they lower me far enough, I can probably just cut this
That's what
fucking
my
rope.
thought would be. Let me down there.
And then, like, if it really is a bottomless pit, they're like, okay, any day now, I can fucking cut this rope. Hurry up.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh God. Yeah. Okay. So they're lowering him. They don't hear anything.
They don't hear anything. It's just silent for a long time. And then all of a sudden, they hear him screaming.
No.
And they're like trying to pull him up. Imagine the rope burn on your hands, trying to pull a grown man up hundreds of feet. They pull him back up. And when he came up, his hair had gone white and he had aged 30 years.
What? What?
Apparently he then couldn't even get out what he saw, but he went full blown Looney Tunes and died 24 hours later.
What in the world?
That's
What?
the story
Okay.
from literally 800 years ago. So I'm
Okay.
sure
I was gonna say, what century was this? Okay. I
I'm
just want to check how.
yeah, it's
Okay.
probably not totally accurate. But
When was this? The 12th century, you said?
13th century, 12
13th
the late
century. Okay.
1200s.
Okay.
So other prisoners were like, "What the fuck?" But then I guess they still wanted to see if they could also have a full part, and so they were willing to go get down there too. And I guess the same thing kept happening over and over again. These people
Oh
kept coming back
no.
terrorized with white hair. And
Stop putting people down there.
so after this, the king slash duke, whoever was in charge here, he was like, "This is nuts. We have to do something about this." And covering it up with rocks isn't working because no rocks will fill it up. So we're just going to put metal slabs across it and just seal it,
Mm.
like put a lid on it. And
That's what I would do, I think, if I were trying to solve this. I'd be like, just put a big board over it and we'll pretend it never existed.
you think like someone from the 1200s, but also he thinks like someone from the 21st century. So
He's ahead of his time, I say, about this random man who probably was not ahead of his time.
it's either an insult, a compliment, or pretty neutral. I don't know. You
Correct.
take that however you want.
Time is cyclical, you know, who knows?
You know what? Maybe you were him. Let's get there. Let's go there.
Could be. I was a king for sure. Some
He
sort of royalty.
he had them sealed up with the heavy slabs, and then they built a fucking castle around it. And specifically on these heavy slabs, they built a chapel on top to keep any spirits that might have been able to escape through the heavy slabs.
Have you tried putting God on it?
Thank you. And also, like, why are we acting like? I mean, I guess back then, I guess they thought demons would be like physical creatures because spiritually, you can just like float through that metal slab. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I guess if they're winged creatures and stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm. Which I do
And also, like,
wonder.
maybe that's symbolic too, right? Like, you seal it, even
Mm,
if it's just symbolically sealing it and putting a church over it, like you're saying, you shall not pass.
it's intention setting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Yeah.
So they put a chapel directly on top. They also honored the chapel by naming it after Archangel Michael, who I guess this is a quote because I'm not in the biblical mindset, but apparently for those who are like me and don't know, Archangel Michael quote raised God's army against Lucifer's fallen angels. So he felt very apropos to be the spokesperson of this chapel.
He's like the head honcho angel.
Yes. They also painted a bunch of murals and frescoes in the chapel, and you would think like, oh, biblical characters to like really like seal this thing off as like,
Mm-hmm.
don't come here, demons. But for some reason, the paintings were more so warnings of the creatures that were in the pit below.
So they're like, no more, no, don't come in here. You don't want to open this up.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was a warning of like, this is what was once here. So
That
don't.
feels tempting. Like that feels like you're just tempting people.
I I at least love that there's a chapel where the pictures are interesting now, instead of it just being like a
Yeah.
bunch of little naked babies and ladies and all that.
I don't know, man. You got to go to Europe. There's some interesting art in these old ass like you look around and you're like that shouldn't be seen probably by anybody. I don't know. There's
Interesting.
some weird shit over there. Especially from that long ago. And they're like, here is us decapitating a
Oh,
horse. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, why would you put that on the
maybe I
wall?
do need to go to church. Hang on a second. Maybe you're
Not
right.
church. Okay, maybe not church,
But
but like in like
in the off hours, just to look up at the sky.
structures, like royal structures. No, I mean like not just in churches. I mean, is what I meant to say. Like
Gotcha.
in these old places. So maybe it was just the king's aesthetic. He's like, I'm just into the demon, you know,
Do you have a favorite place?
over there.
Like a favorite, like a thing you saw that was super like
Yeah,
messed
there
up,
was
like
like
a
this.
decapitated horse.
Well, you know, that's probably something I've just conjured in my mind,
Oh,
which
okay.
is even worse. But I think my favorite place that I went recently was this again, I don't even know where the hell it was because we went to so many places, but it was a specific museum for the horses of that castle.
Okay, interesting.
So they had like all these like old like implements and things and like saddles and things that like the royals would use with and then like all they had honored all the horses and they put all their names underneath and like had and then one was like taxidermied because it was like the king's favorite horse and then
Mm.
it
Oh,
showed
that's
you how the
cool.
little kids were ridden around in little horse cart drawn carts. It was just like there's a whole museum for the horses. I
That
don't know.
sounds really
That's
nice. I would go to
it
that.
was kind of cool. It was kind of cool.
Good suggestion, Christine. I would.
Anyway,
I would do
I
that.
mean, I don't even remember where it is, so that's not very helpful.
So
But
good luck. Okay.
check my Facebook photos. It's probably there somewhere.
Well, so yeah, this chapel did not have the images I would expect, which again were just little naked babies or something. Um, Instead it had murals of like Satan and dragons and pagan references, and a fan
That's
favorite
weird.
seems to be a left-handed yuck female yuck half human yuck centaur. Um,
Whoa, sexy.
Triple threat, triple evil, I suppose. Left-handed, lady, half human.
666. Oh
Mm,
my god.
exactly. Oh, I feel a sneeze coming. Oh my god, that one really kicked me right in the face and then said, "Never mind."
That one hurt me
I hope
somehow
it did. It got me in the eye. I was like,
by
"Ugh,
association.
ugh." Okay, well, it's coming back. I'll let you
Get
know.
it out.
I wish. Um, but it just really rocked my world. Okay. So it feels odd to me, at least, that because it's so out of what I would imagine to paint
Mhm.
those images when you should like
Fair enough. Like pagan stuff, I would never see at like a church or something. I was thinking more just like the gruesome, like this
sure.
is vanquishing Satan or whatever, and it's like just like weird bloody stuff. But yeah, I wouldn't expect to see like pagan or like centaur. Like that just feels way off base for a church. Yeah.
Yeah, and also it feels a little like we're like I wouldn't want to jinx it and keep talking about this shit if I'm trying to keep it contained on
Yeah,
in
you're
the
like, guess
floor
what's
below
in
me.
there? It's
Yeah.
super kick ass and dangerous.
Well, I had nowhere else to put this, but I did want to throw this fun fact out that I only saw from one source, and I don't know why this isn't talked about more because it was just so interesting that it's kind of just like how they even had the technology or the ability to pull this off in the 1200s. There was one image on the wall of Saint George killing a dragon with a sword,
hmm
and it's basically he's stabbing down into a dragon. So the sword is like just one y-axis line pretty much.
hmm
And apparently on St. George's Day, exactly, the sunlight from the beginning of the day to the end of the day moves through the window in a way where it perfectly traces the sword, slowly killing the dragon.
What the fuck? Who?
How how do you do that? Isn't that
It-
crazy?
I mean,
Isn't that crazy? That's fucking
that's just like a
crazy.
wild thing to just like build into your administration building. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
a great
because
point.
like yeah, like in Egypt and a lot of these cultures, they did things like that for so long, thousands of years. They knew how to like use the sun in that way, but like this is just so random.
And also maybe it's because the math and technology is just so beyond what I'm capable of. But I would imagine you have to come up with that idea way before St. George's Day on the calendar hits. And then you have to trace the sun exactly the right way, or else now you have to wait a whole new St. George's
Mm.
Day. Oh my God. Like the
I
patience.
wonder if they had ways though, like because they were able to use. I mean, they had like calendars. Maybe they knew where the sun would fall on every day, a certain day of the year. I don't know. I don't know.
That I thought that was so effing cool. I was like,
The like slowly over time stabbing into the dragon is like top tier,
literally
like Easter egg
can never
style.
be done again. Or if it can be,
No, I
why don't we
mean
do it?
remarkable.
Remarkable. So, okay. Anyway, that was kind of to catch you up to the 1700s. That there was this big fucking hole. The entire town thinks that it's a gateway to hell. They ended up building a chapel over it inside of a
Who
castle.
built it again?
It was they thought his name was um
Oh, we don't even know for sure.
no, we think it was King Ottokar the Second of Bohemia.
Oh, so we're not even really sure what's up.
It we think it might be that guy.
Okay.
And at least that's
Was he kind of like a freak? Because I feel like
I don't know,
whoever this
maybe.
was like had to be a little bit of a freak to be
I agree.
like pagan. I don't know.
I
Make
don't
the
know.
sword move. Like, what are you talking about? You know,
Yeah, or like did he just hire someone who was like really committed to art, you know?
who's like, finally, I get to do my masterpiece. Yeah.
He was like, "Why is that one drawing taking so fucking long?" It's like, "No, no, no. You'll love it, I promise."
We just have to wait another 365 days before I can confirm that it's ready.
So, and so there was the gateway to hell. They built a castle around it, but then things got even shadier. On top of the fact that everyone knew there was a bottomless pit that demons apparently come out of, and now this
Hmm.
castle is here. And people who were unaware of that first story are now wondering why this weird safe house
Right.
administration office would be built
You're
in the
like Barbara
forest.
Streisanding it. You're like drawing attention to it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, okay, now we're able to get all the way through all those centuries. So the castle was then occupied by several different noblemen until the 1700s. By the 1700s, the castle falls into disrepair, and one of the last people to live there allegedly was this rogue commander, but he was also secretly an alchemist and magic practitioner, and his name was Oronto.
Oh.
And the story goes, there is really very little to no evidence of the story, but it's a big part of the lore. is that this guy was practicing magic out there. He knew that this castle was in the middle of the woods and he turned it into his lab, and he was desperate to figure out the elixir of life. But in the process of that, he was also kidnapping villagers and having his soldiers drag them into the castle and using them as experiments for his elixir of life tests.
So
Are you
first
caught
they're
up?
low, yeah. So they're yeah. Unfortunately, I am. So they're lowering people into the hole. They're allegedly dragging people here to test their body. Okay, wow. All right. So this is just not a great place, even once it's been covered up.
No, it just seems to draw in some dark people. Um, and this magician, I keep calling him a magician, a practitioner. Um, I guess he started terrifying the town because people were like, "Oh my god, he's experimenting on us."
He's abducting us.
hmm
Yeah.
Nobody can relate to that these days, by the way.
All right. All right.
So eventually, yuck. Eventually, two people in town had enough, and they were willing to risk it for everybody, and
What is with these people? They're so risky.
they were ready to kill this guy.
Oh shit. Okay.
And I saw some longer version of the story where they went to a different magic practitioner who was like, just in case he already figured out the elixir of life, which, if that's true, why is he now experimenting on people?
Just in case he already figured it out.
But just in case he figured it out, he might be protected because now he is impenetrable from death.
Immortal. Yeah.
So here are these bullets soaked in something that will reverse the spell. So then they had to
But
go
like,
get the
how would you know
bullets. It's a whole
that how to
thing.
reverse a spell if you don't even know what the like?
That's a great point, Christine.
Like how do you
Snake
find
oil
the
salesman.
Thank you. How do you find the cure for something if you're like, I don't even know what the thing is?
Christine, that's
Like
such a good stinking point.
I just like to be devil's advocate, and sometimes
And it
it
works.
helps. Sometimes.
Well, then apparently they snuck over to his lab and they shot him through the window.
Mm,
Um, and then I guess there's a story that like he almost survived, and they're like, "Wow, he really does have the elixir of life," but then he did die, so I guess the bullets worked. I don't know. We'll never fucking know. Anyway,
no, that guy was just like, no, it was the oil I put on snake oil I put on the bullets that did it.
he used it to market himself for sure.
Nice. Yeah, for sure.
So that was one of the last people that they say lived in the castle. So then it fell apart, and by the 1800s, it had been renovated. It had changed hands, and really, by the time the 1920s hit, it was sold to the family that still owns it today.
Okay.
So, and the family that owns it, maybe you would know about this. I don't. But it was sold to the Simonek family. They own the Skoda car company.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
I
a
mean, I
thing.
know this car company, but I don't know. I don't know the family.
Okay. I've never heard Skoda before, but everyone was talking about it like it's Coca-Cola. So
Yeah, I think it's a very common car brand over there. That's not
okay.
for some reason. Some of them just don't like come over here, which is interesting. Anyway.
Well, so the president of the Skoda company ends up buying this house in the 1920s. He planned on making it his summer home. He did like the final restorations of it, and it's still owned by the family today. However, there was a stint in the middle in the 1940s when it was occupied by, say it with me, Nazis. So
I'll
on
just let you say it for now. I'm just gonna say that.
so on top of like all the other dark shit that this place has endured,
Right.
the Nazis heard about
It
it.
got worse.
And they were like, "Well, we want to go over there, and that's going to be where we station ourselves for like 6 years." Um,
Jesus.
we don't totally know what they did there, by the way, because any documentation got destroyed. There's really very
Nothing
little,
good.
nothing good. I'll tell you that. There is very little evidence, although someone who in one documentary about this castle, I think she worked there, said that after they left, people ended up finding books in the walls later or something that suggested that they were there with interests in the occult.
Yeah, there was a big faction of the, no, maybe not big faction, but one of the things, I mean, Hitler was looking into was a lot of occult, like, that kind of like fringe stuff.
So you are right. And
Oh, hey.
I didn't know that. I don't know how this whole time I didn't ever hear about that, but yes, for those who did not know somehow, a lot of people in the Nazi party had a really rich fascination with occultism.
Mhm.
News to me, but that means that I can also cover it in the future if you guys want. I was going to do like a deep dive and I was like, we don't have the time. But
Not for that, not for Nazis,
no,
not today,
not
you know?
I really don't want to give them the airtime if I don't have to either.
Ugh.
Um, but apparently it was well known at the time that a lot of people, including like even Hitler himself, were
Mhm.
like they were trying to find supernatural ways to create
It's all
quote
these power hungry
supernatural
people.
weapons.
It's always power hungry people. They're into eugenics. They want the to have their they want to figure out how your head is shaped. They want to find the occult,
Mhm.
the Ark of the Covenant. They want to live forever. Like fuck off. Find a hobby. Like go back to painting, you know?
Mhm. That's exactly
Like
right.
go watercolors. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, go to a therapist.
Like
Um
literally start a podcast like and shut up.
People are curious about why they took over this specific building because again, it lacked any defenses and this was when they were taking over the
Mm.
area. So you would think they would want military strategic buildings to occupy. But they took this one even though it was incredibly far from Prague, it was in the middle of the forest. Um but again, because th- they were doing shady things, people think well maybe they just wanted a building in the middle of nowhere so nobody would know what they were up to. Um Also, that could be a place to quote conduct experiments and nobody will
Mm.
hear anything. Um it
Maybe
could
you're
also
isolated. You can like have yeah, yeah. I feel like there's probably benefits to that in other ways too, like being isolated.
Yeah, and it could also be that after I think they found these books, it kind of confirmed the other theory, which was, oh well, if they're really interested in the occult and they had to have heard about this place that has a literal portal to hell in the bottom of
Mhm.
it, why wouldn't you want to test out your occult skills and
Fair
do
enough.
experiments in the literal castle covering up the
And
demons
then
of
you hear
hell?
like, "Oh, and the sun on one day of the year like
Yeah,
moves down the wall." I mean, it sounds like, you know,
so wild.
magic-y.
So it's believe that they chose that place as an isolated area to perform rituals, and it's thought that one of those rituals was to try to harness the energy from the portal of hell to use it towards, I don't know,
I
fucking
believe
weapons or
that the
something.
Nazis tried to utilize energy from the portal of hell. Yeah. I mean, that tracks.
I mean, it feels pretty dumb, to me.
Yeah, because it's like a ever have you
Feels
ever
dumb.
watched a movie where like does that end well? No.
Another theory is that they simply used it as a storage facility for their occult documents, which is why maybe the books were left there by accident. But an even worse theory, which does get a lot of mention, so it would be wrong of me to not mention it, is that some people think they chose this isolated location with no strategic value for a, I'm so sorry, breeding center. Um, yeah. So moving quickly along, UFOologists have also it just gets fucking crazier. The UFOologists out there, at least a pack of them, went to the castle and said that they claimed that Hitler used to use this portal to teleport himself around the world.
Okay.
So
Wait,
there's
the ufologists say that?
UFO
Who's that? Who?
there's just a group who were like, we're UFOologists. We believe that this isn't a portal to hell, but it's actually a space-time continuum, time slip
Okay.
space.
Can they like speak on that or is it just like that's it?
I mean, they're not here, so and I don't have any more information. but
Can we call them in real can we give it a little phone call?
but
A little call
apparently they
out?
think it's more of a time slip glitch in the matrix, which I guess would fall into
Right.
like the alien thing, but it could also be I don't know. I don't know, Christine. Um
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I feel like I'm losing my mind trying to explain this. So
Yeah, it sounds pretty batshit. I feel like it just gets crazier and crazier.
meanwhile, maybe there was just like a crack in a fucking cliffside and someone wanted a castle there. I don't know, you know?
But like it's just gotten out of control with the theory, even not what you're saying, just like
Right.
what every sentence is like. Some people say it's this, some people say what?
It is riddled with conspiracy theory. And a few years after the Nazis were there, by the way, a few of their bodies were literally found on the property. And so then that added a whole other layer of like, well, what did they
Were
know?
they lowered into the crack?
Yeah,
You know
like
what I mean?
what was going on? Or were they the
And then
test
like they got
subjects? Or
brought back and it like had the shock with the white hair thing, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Hmm.
So for obvious reasons, this castle, and by the way, it's underground passages, because of course there are those.
Imagine like knowing your sorry, your ancestor died in obviously if they're, you know, of the Nazi persuasion,
Hmm.
that's, you know, not a great thing to explore, but you know, it's important. But if you had somebody in the war, like even just back then, like a family member, and you're like, I know they were missing in action, I have no idea what happened to them. And it's like they were just randomly, their body was at this random ass castle in the Czech Republic,
Hmm.
and you just never find out. That's just like really dark and weird.
I, yeah. I, and
I mean, I'm sure
especially
that happens in so many cases with especially in a war, but, like, just such a weird thought that, like, they found bodies there that had not been reported
I
or
feel
whatever.
I feel like even if it was my ancestor and they were of the Nazi party and I heard about this mystery, I would not rest until I found out what the fuck happened purely on the nosiness of it
I
all.
would wanna know
I'd be
about
like,
it. I
fuck you, but also I gotta know what the fuck happened, you know?
I'm curious. I am curious.
I it's same with like my not exactly the same, not a one for one, but my furthest ancestor back I can go. The only reason I can only go that far back is because everyone hated him so much that they refused to speak about him, and therefore I lost all
Yeah.
information on my family line. So now I'm like, what the fuck did you do? I bet I hated you, but I need to know what happened. Like, why did they hate you so much?
Mm.
Um Anyway, so the castle and its underground passages, of course they exist. They have multiple types of ghosts from multiple eras of time. There's poltergeist activity, there's shadow people, there's a lady in white, of course, and she is seen through the
Mhm.
windows often, but people have also said she'll just walk right past you and you think another person's in the room with you. And then all of a sudden you realize there wasn't another person there.
Ugh, that's what happened to me, where I was so caught off guard. I thought somebody was just walking around up there at the Whaley
Yeah.
House that first time. And it's so jarring because it really flips like your sense of reality. You're like, no, no, no. I literally, there was just a person there. I just watched them walk past. It's so weird. It's so creepy.
I am so jealous and also not at all jealous that you've
It
had
was,
that
it,
experience.
you should be jealous just also because it was at the top of a staircase in a place I don't live. So, like, it was
Oh,
like the
yes.
perfect situation. It was like day, the sun was still pretty much out. Like, we were getting margaritas afterward. This is Allison and me. Like, the guy was upstairs. Like, I felt like it was a perfect distance, long distance ghost sighting that didn't traumatize me, you know?
That's a great point. In that way, I am jealous of the experience because it is arguably the best.
Yeah, it's like best case scenario, you
Yes.
know?
Well, apparently there's another ghost here of a human with the head of a bullfrog.
What the fuck? I don't like that.
It feels demonic, but it also would confirm the there were hybrid animal humans coming out of this hole,
With
and
frogs.
this
They look
one's still here. Yeah, I don't know.
What do you mean? Like they put a tiny little frog head on a person?
Yeah, I do want to know: is it a tiny human body and a normal frog head, or is it a
Right.
massive frog head and a normal human body?
Well, I think they would have mentioned if it was like 6 inches tall and like running around with the frog head.
Like
But I
the
don't know.
borrowers have a mask on their head.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a ghost that's hard to see, I guess. But
Oy,
it's
oy, oy.
weird. A bullfrog. But I guess that's more symbolic. Like it does sound symbolic in some way, like either a
Yeah.
god or goddess or like or something darker. Yeah.
Mm. Well, they've got that. They've got the ghost of a devil dog, of course.
Mm.
They have a headless man who, quote, is,
I bet you they threw that dog down that thing. I'm not kidding.
oh,
Because my first thought was, I promise you, they put a lot of animals down there.
I agree.
Like, there's no
I,
way they were lowering humans down there in the 1200s and like hadn't thought to just toss like a horse or a dog or a whatever cat.
and now he's being like cast for
Now he's like
centuries
the
as the
devil
devil
dog.
dog.
Please,
Oh my
be
God.
so for real
No,
right
we're
now.
reclaiming that. He was
I'm
just an
telling you, there's
innocent
no
little
way. There's
puppy.
no such thing as a devil dog. Only in the best way.
He's a little puppy. He's just a puppy. That's
Just a
all.
pup, just a little devil puppy.
Man, now I'm mad.
Now I'm mad too.
This headless man, let's talk about him.
Is
Apparently,
that where the head went with the frog?
we're getting a before and after situation,
I
maybe.
mean, it's weird.
He is, by the way, you don't even know this yet, but a headless man, and it's quoted saying that the headless part of him is, quote, "bl- gushing blood out of his wound." So I
Whoa.
think it's the energy of like right after he lost his head.
Oof, a doofa. Okay.
Um, and there's a ghost of a faceless monk dressed in all black who is seen walking past you and vanishing, and walking past you where you think he's a real person.
Bad vibes.
He hangs out in the lowest part of the building, which has been nicknamed Satan's office, by the way.
Ah! He's like, I'm M. Satan. Thank you for coming to my office. What the
Esquire.
fuck? Yeah, Esquire for sure.
There's also one ghost here called the Guardian, which I'm confused if that's also the monk. But he's said to be watching over the property in the courtyard near the pit. This is very creepy, and this has been happening since the castle was built, so for hundreds of years now. Dead birds apparently are constantly found on the ground as if they just fell from the sky.
Ugh.
And the thought is that the dark energy pouring out of the top of the courtyard is so powerful that if a bird flies through it, they just drop.
What the fuck? That is so creepy.
Which, like, if it's still happening, where are scientists? Like, we can't figure out what the fuck's happening.
Well, what is a scientist supposed to do?
Like a bird scientist be like, why this spot? You know? Or maybe they're just getting stuck and they're
Who's
trying.
gonna fund that? I'll fund it. I'll
I
fund it.
mean, I feel like there's crazier things science has looked into, you know? The monk is apparently seen next to the pit. Horrible. And people also still see winged creatures, a headless horse.
So they're still getting out. The winged creatures
Yeah.
are still getting out.
That's a damn good point, Christine.
I just thought maybe they
This
were
was all for
hiding.
nothing.
No, I mean, really, what's the point?
Well, time to close up shop, Castle. I don't know. People still say that they actually hear, quote, a chorus of screams
Oh.
and scratching underneath the chapel floor as if people are trying to escape the covered pit.
Remember when I was like, I think I've probably been here before. I'm like, I certainly, this is when I wish we had gone to. I would have actually paid attention, you know?
Me too. Every sound, I would have been like, whoa.
The art and stuff. Like, I would have been interested in this.
I would have demanded we go on St. George's Day because I need to see this
I
fucking sword.
know.
I can't sleep over her. I'm so fascinated by it.
When is that?
I don't know.
April 23rd.
Well,
We still got
that's a great
time.
time to go to Prague.
That's what they say.
That's just
Beautiful in Prague this time of year.
April is famously Prague month, so
What are you talking about?
I just mean like it's not freezing cold.
No,
you know?
I mean, it is probably a lovely time to visit, but it's probably still pretty chilly.
By the way, this one I hate the most. The chapel walls
Mhm.
are said to have always been inexplicably wet.
I knew you were going to say that. Yuck.
Even when everything else is dry, they are always a little damp. Um, People also say coming to this castle is bad luck. I wonder why. They also hear voices. They hear very obvious footsteps. In some of the videos I watched, the footsteps, it was like a person was with them. It was horrible.
Yuck.
Intense banging, technical malfunctions. People feel themselves being followed. They've had time slips and horrible dreams here. That dates back actually to the 1830s. This guy swears that he had a time slip. And some sources were saying he had just like a dystopian dream. Some were saying it started as a dream and then it was a time slip. But the main story is that this guy in the 1830s, he wrote about how he stayed here overnight. He thought he was having a dream where he actually walked over to the pit and fell in and kept falling and falling and falling until on the other side, he ended up in the year 2006.
No. What?
And he described essentially seeing skyscrapers and a girl scrolling on an iPhone. And so people are like,
what?
people are
The
like,
fuck?
what the hell? So he said something different than skyscrapers and a girl scrolling on an iPhone, but
What if it was me visiting? Because that was the year I went.
shut the fuck up. And
I'm
you're
not
like,
even making
look
that
at
up.
this.
I
Isn't this
just-
neat?
I just realized, I'm like, wait, I was there in 06.
You know what's
I
weird?
mean, I did not have an iPhone though, so.
The way he described it was, or it was probably like an iTouch at that point or something. But
Oh, I was listening to Fall Out Boy. No wonder. Yeah.
he said it was, he called it a casket, like something to hold. Like he was saying, oh, a girl showed me,
We interacted with her?
yeah, she showed him the pictures and was scrolling on essentially an iTouch, and he was like, it was I don't remember the words, but a casket of images scrolling ahead, or
Casket of. Okay, first of all, that's a beautiful description of an iPhone. A casket of images.
Apple needs to
Just-
market that for Halloween.
Wow, that's dark.
Just a casket of images.
I mean, talk about modern day society.
Well,
What a statement on society.
So then that led people to saying, oh, it wasn't just a dream and having bad nightmares here, but maybe the theory that Hitler was teleporting through time slips or something. Maybe that's
God
true
help us
now.
all, please. I don't need him looking at a
Ugh.
casket of images. Jesus.
So also the glasses, like a wine glass one time was seen by multiple people literally on the table just dragging itself and then slamming onto the ground.
No, at least drink it. Don't fucking slam it on the ground.
People
What a
have
waste.
heard what sounds like a full barrel slamming onto a ground above them when nobody else was in the room.
Whoa.
One investigator threw a rock and asked if someone could throw the rock back to him, and you could hear the rock getting thrown back from the other side of the basement.
Okay, what's also so scary is like you're in the middle of the woods. It's not like you
Yes,
can be
you
like,
can't
oh, that was
run.
just a car honking nearby. Like you're out there, which is so scary.
There's this one I thought was super creepy for really no real reason, but it just freaked me out. Is that they had this camera that was, if they pressed a remote, they could like Bluetooth take a picture wherever they were in the castle. They could get a picture of this one
Like
room,
a selfie stick.
like a selfie stick, and the remote they weren't even touching the remote, and I guess the camera took 100 pictures by itself, and you can hear the
Ooh.
audio because they left a recorder next to the camera. You can hear it getting messed with, and then hearing it click and click and click and click.
That is
Ugh.
probably the guy who did the time slip and was like, "Oh, here's a casket of images.
I'm gonna make the casket of
Here, let
images.
me make my own."
Animals act very weird here. Several dogs refuse to go in. They start barking and freaking out.
Aw.
Cars have trouble starting up back here. Apparently, candelabra light bulbs in one room, not just like flicker, but full blown explode.
No.
One time there were a bunch of cars in the parking lot. They all refused to turn on, and none of them would turn on. And they had to call a priest in and bless all the cars for them to turn back on.
What? They were like, "Last resort, get the priest in here."
I know. And I watched one video
Jeez.
of an investigator using a spirit box, and she kept saying, "Is the guardian, the monk maybe, is the guardian here? Is it okay that we're here?" And the spirit box said, "Run, don't go there, leave." And then
Uh-oh.
later, she got the spirit box again saying, "Come outside." And then she heard a huge growl, and then the spirit box said, "I want you to go." Ah!
Okay,
That's one example of
say
many.
less. Yeah, I don't think I would stay much longer than that.
That's one example of many creepy fucking things that happen there. But um all that you need to know is that since the 1920s, other than that stint where the Nazis occupied it for a second, it has stayed in the same family since the 1920s. And as of 1999, they opened it to the public. So you
Oh.
can do tours there. You can do ghost tours there. They have a website that's like chock full of events, but I could not tell you what that was because it was all not in English.
Oh.
Um, but it looked like a really fun list. It was just very busy. And the last thing I'm going to say is, fun fact: this castle was used in a Doctor Who comic book.
Okay.
It was Doctor Who. It was literally set in Houska Castle. Houska Castle. Um, and I'll end on a quote from somebody who was talking about it, saying, "The most beautiful thing about Houska or Houska is the fact that no one can tell where the castle came from, how long it's been standing here, or what its purpose is. The castle was named as the most mysterious discovery in our country." Um,
Wow.
but how weird is that everyone in the town's like, "There's a castle. We don't know where the fuck it came
That's
from.
remarkable. They're like, "We have rumors, but we're not 100% sure." That
Yep,
is,
we're not touching that."
and especially for something so elaborate, like the art on the walls and the golden sword or whatever, like it's just
Ugh,
like, what? So somebody did that and then didn't like put their name all over it, or like,
I know.
it's just weird. Or maybe they did and like so many other people, like Nazis defaced it, or like maybe there was more
Yeah,
in the walls or underneath and they got rid of it or burned it, who knows.
horrible. Anyway, I need to
Wow.
go purely for this little St. George's art that I got to check out. And
Oh, I thought you were like, "I need to go," and I was like, "Okay, bye."
no other reason. I need someone to take me in a caravan through the forest so I can look at this thing on St. George's Day. And as soon
You
as
better go back to that calendar and buy a ticket. It sounds like it's probably a popular event.
I
Okay.
would hope they do like an annual viewing of the I hope they you know what they should do? They should live stream it so everyone gets to watch. I would love to
Maybe
watch that.
maybe they do. You gotta get you a browser translator,
Eva,
you
get me
know?
the castle. Um
Get me the castle on the horn. Houska Castle on the horn?
Oy.
Um, wow, what a tale.
I'm so sorry that was so long. I'm sure you have to pee. I have to pee.
I do have to pee. My big B is kicking in.
Good. My big T is kicking in.
Wow, okay.
There's nothing I love more than a fun little treat in FLT when I do anything, including what's expected of me. With Built, when you pay your rent, you literally get treats. You get
And you
rewards.
should be rewarded, frankly, for paying your rent, okay? It's 2026. Like,
Yep.
Bill is awesome. It's a loyalty program for renters that rewards you for your biggest monthly expense, rent, okay? With Bill, every rent payment earns you points that can be used towards flights, hotels, Lyft rides. You could do Soul Cycle, fitness classes, hotels, rent credit, all sorts of cool stuff. I would probably want to be the person who gets rent credit, but I'd probably just get
Right.
like gift cards to stuff. I think I already paid the rent, so let me, yeah, get like a little treat.
And starting in February, Built members can earn points on mortgage payments for the first time, and soon you
Hang
will.
on,
I
let me
know,
write this down.
I know. So we're back in the game, baby.
Phew!
Soon you'll be able to get rewarded wherever you live and unlock exclusive benefits for with more than 45,000 restaurants
You
and
just
fitness
get to
studios.
you just get rewards to like live where if I
Yeah,
mean congratulations to all of
congratulations.
us who are surviving.
Yeah, so join the loyalty program for renters at jointbuilt.com/drink.
That's JOINBILT.com/drink. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. It's like one of those things where you either understand or don't understand that the litter smell has been a problem for millennia. I mean, I hate to be that guy, but until now, but like BoxyCat, actually, I have been using it and we have our litter box in the bathroom, like our bathroom, and oh, it smells sometimes, but now we're using BoxyCat and I'm not kidding you. It's like it dissolves, the odor disappears. I can't tell you how.
If Christine's saying that, I need you to trust her because let's just say
Juniper.
Juniper has tummy issues, and
No, it does.
the
Oh,
house
God.
knows when Juniper went potty. But with BoxyCat, all right, it sounds like that problem is no more. And by the way, the Pro in Boxy Pro stands for probiotics, which stop the bacteria that causes the odor, so you never smell your litter box ever again. That's probably what's going on with Juniper.
I mean, really, it goes for like 10 or 20 days. It's
Oof.
very impressive. And you do have to scoop, which is the caveat, but it's clumping powder. It does, you top off the box. Listen,
Worth
it's just
it.
litter but better.
Yeah. If you're tired of switching litters looking for the right one, get Boxy at boxiecat.com. It's the last litter you'll switch to.
Enjoy 30% off with code DRINK at boxycat.com/drink. That's boxiecat.com/drink. Okay.
What a great little spiral that turned into.
What a spiral. I got to get in the second half here, Em, because I have one of the wildest cases that, and I know we're already like going kind of long, so I want to get into this, but
Yes,
I
so
think you're
sorry about
gonna. No, it's not your fault. You heard me. You all heard me going on and on and on. This is the Oslo Plaza Woman, the mystery of the Oslo. God, the other day Leona learned that's a tongue twister, and now she says it all the time for things that are also not tongue
I
twisters.
love how she doesn't mean it to be nasty, I'm sure, but what a fun little thing that's going to be when she's older. That's a tongue
Oh,
twister.
oh, she's already putting it to very good use. I wouldn't worry. She understands tone and all that very, very well.
Excellent.
Shockingly, upsettingly well. Okay, so this is the mystery of the Oslo Plaza Woman, and it's unsolved,
Okay.
but it is very creepy and it's full of conspiracy. So, as far as synchronicities go, this took place on June 3rd, which was just weird after we had just done the episode where I was searching June 3rd.
Mhm.
The Oslo Plaza Hotel, it was described as a top luxury hotel in Oslo, Norway. It is like, 5-star, very classy joint. So even in the 90s, like mid 90s, it's a very like upscale, trendy, establishment. On June 3rd, 1995, a hotel employee or security staff member went to room 2805 at the Oslo Plaza Hotel because the guest had not provided a credit card or settled payment.
Mm.
Staff knocked on the door to the room to address the billing issue, and immediately after the knock, a single gunshot was heard from inside the room.
Oh, fuck. Also weirdly timed. Like, what are the odds that, like, in that
Yes.
moment? Oh, so wait, so remind me again. What was the call for? Or no, they went up just because of the missed payment problem.
Okay, I'm glad you asked this because there was more detail that I hadn't really written out, but this is a good place to put it real quick. So the front desk had realized, and this is one of the odd things that happened when she checked in, she did not provide any form of payment
Mhm.
and she did not provide any form of ID. And like it is the 90s, but like that was not standard. That was not procedure. Like you need a passport or like a credit
Something.
card, something to pay for your stay or to like put a deposit. Nothing like that. So they had apparently pinged her a few times from the front desk to say like, "Hey, can you settle your bill when you get a minute?" And the front desk clerk sent one up, had seen there were two already sent up, sent one up on this June 3rd, and it was responded to. And apparently the way this worked was on the TV screen in the hotel room. It was like one of those where you could hit like the OK button and it would
Mhm.
like notify the front desk that you saw their message or some high-tech 90s thing. Um so they sent the message up to be like, "Hey, we want to see if you've gotten our messages." And she responded like in the affirmative, like, "Got it," or
Mhm.
whatever kind of response that would be. And so they were like, "Let's send someone up to like
Sure.
discuss with her the payment,
Since she
whatever."
knows
So
what's going on, let's
yeah,
yeah.
and or we can get the information from now, I guess, or whatever. So they go up to address the billing issue, and immediately after the knock, this gunshot goes off in the room.
Mm.
So The staff member left the area to get help, alert police, security. The door area, the entrance to this hotel room was not monitored for approximately 15 minutes after the gunshot
Yikes.
until security and or police came back.
Okay. And she was by
So,
herself? So for what we know so far, the story goes that she was alone? Okay, never mind.
so far we don't know anything because
Okay,
this woman has not checked in with like ID or anything, but they are going to kind of trace back and figure out a few details.
got it.
So, they go inside the room. They do find her alone. They find her body. Is lying on the bed. She has a gunshot through her forehead, and she is holding a 9mm Browning pistol in her hand,
Okay.
and she's clearly dead. There's blood everywhere, and it smells acrid in there, like either gunpowder. One of the staff members mentioned it, and I don't know if it was like a gunpowder smell. I will say the serial number on the pistol, when they took a look at it, had been removed using acid, which is like a very
Ooh,
professional way because serial numbers, I guess, are you can't just file them off like
okay.
on these kind of guns. You
S
need to like professionally remove them,
so clue
and it
number
had
1.
been yeah that was a little odd. And it said it'd been removed using acid, and that just struck me because of the comment of like it smelled acrid in there, but I
Sure.
think that was probably more like gunpowder. So she was laying in a pool of blood, wearing a black blazer, a white blouse, a black skirt, and black shoes. They interview, so there's an episode of Unsolved Mysteries. It's one of the things I watched to get more info about this. And they interviewed Auden Christiansen of the Oslo Police Department. And he notes that when they went in there, there was no sign of another person being present in the room. And the door had been locked, deadbolted from the inside. So, like, double locked.
Okay.
It appeared been the only guest staying there. There is a picture. So there are a lot of evidence pictures that make me glad I watched this episode because I'm going to send some of them to you as we go through. They just give me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay.
Something about an evidence photo, like in general, but like I have a picture here of her room service meal that she
Mm.
had eaten like right before not passing away, and they found like the contents of it in her stomach, and it's just like
It's
something.
so eerie.
It's so eerie.
It
And like these are all clues because it's a unsolved mystery, so we really don't know.
right. No,
But
I'm
like,
glad you mentioned
oh
that.
my
That's one of
gosh.
those things that, like, I can't look away from, but they
Mhm.
make me so uncomfortable, but I think it's because it's evidence that, like, this thing was created with the understanding that a completely different trajectory was gonna go on. Like, someone was gonna be alive to eat
Yeah.
it,
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
like,
That is unsettling.
it's so close to time-wise, it's so close to, like, a really massive
Because
event
it's just
happening.
like a snapshot of like someone's day, and then it's like for the worst reason,
Yeah,
like
it's
the
like
worst reason.
it also feels like a snapshot from the normalcy of a day that is now never
Yeah,
normal.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So here's a picture of the food that she had ordered through
Ooh.
room service.
Mhm.
It's a bratwurst with potato salad. Um, it just gives me the creeps. So there was very limited blood spatter present at the scene. There was no sign of a struggle, and no obvious blood found on the gun itself or on her hand.
Mm,
Um, that being said, though, like they just kind of assumed at first that it was a suicide because this woman was locked in
sure.
her room for all we know by herself
Mhm.
and had a gun in her hand and had presumably shot herself in the head. So they were able to go back through now one thing that's like maddening about this case is that nobody went through security footage, and they had security footage at the hotel, but nobody ever asked for it or went through it. So that's
Okay.
just completely gone, and we could have probably had all sorts of information, but
Great.
too little, too late. So they were able to determine that not many people had entered the room through the woman's stay, which had been approximately 3 days. She had checked in on May 31st. And what was more interesting is that they found no sign of anyone entering around the time of her death. So they're thinking suicide. She was depressed. She had spent a lot of time at the hotel preparing for her death. Um, but then they start to go through her stuff to figure out, like, okay, let's see what she's got
What's she all
here, who
about?
this
Yeah.
person is, yeah, who we can contact. And they realize there is no proof of identity among any of her belongings. I have some more unsettling crime scene photos for you, or I guess scene. I mean, not necessarily crime scene, but
Which
what do you call it? Scene pictures.
part of me would also say that that could fall into the suicide category because it's like, oh well, she didn't have any of her paperwork because she wasn't going to go anywhere. Her plan was to go to this hotel and do something. But then I could also see maybe her being captured, and that's why she never rounded all of her stuff up and all of her paperwork up. So
I think you're gonna have an interesting journey on this.
you did tell me early on that this is an outrageous case, so I am interested to see what that means.
Okay, so they found no proof of her identity. Um, Here is a picture. I'm gonna send them all at once, but the first picture, I'll wait till you receive it, and then I'll tell you when to swipe.
I have received it.
Okay, so this first photo is of like a wallet or briefcase. It's
Hmm.
just completely empty. There's nothing in it, no credit card, no driver's license. Presumably, this person is visiting, right? They're staying at a hotel, and it's
Right.
like no money. No, you're staying at like a 5-star hotel, also. Like no money, no passport, nothing. That's a little bit odd. They find no ID, no keys, like no keys to a car or apartment. Um, and then this is what creeps me out. If you go to the next picture,
Hmm.
she had taken a shower, presumably, seemingly, but there was no toothbrush, no hairbrush, no toiletries, no makeup, like nothing in the
Ugh.
bathroom to be of like personal effect.
So she just came here to scrub, basically.
Just weird.
Okay.
Now,
Could she have? m- I'm just.
no, no, go for it. This is how this case goes. You just keep saying, "Could it be this? Could it be
Well,
this?"
I'm like, could she have like been from out of town and they lost her bag? Or I, I don't know.
I mean, that's right, because like we've had that happen on tour too. Of like, oh shit, my bag with all my makeup and my clothes for the show
Yeah,
tonight are
I'm just
gone.
gonna
Yeah,
shower and call it a day. Yeah,
yeah.
but
Except
she has clothes in the next picture. She does have clothes, so she had a bag.
so they looked at her clothes, and if you keep scrolling, they found that none of her clothes had tags in them.
Okay. So far, I that is eerie because I know we're heading towards a true crime case here, but it's not that eerie because I also tear all my tags out.
Okay, so we've had this conversation before, and I was so shocked because I was like, that is the weirdest clue to me. Like when somebody takes
Really?
all the tags out of their clothes, I'm like,
Oh no, I would just
what in the
think
world?
homegirl has sensory issues. I would have just thought that.
But even on her like leather jacket. Okay,
Oh,
so here I have some more intel. They noticed all the tag and labels had been removed from her clothing, including her blouse, skirt, and leather jacket. Now you'll notice in the pictures I sent, they're all items of clothing for the upper body, and that's because they found not a single item of clothing for the waist down in her entire room.
that's a weird one. That's weird.
It's weird, right?
I mean, no, I can't even just. I was like, maybe she just forgot to pack pants. Nope. I don't know. I don't know. How do you only remember
No.
shirts and everything else is missing? Um.
No.
Okay, so I don't know what to do with that yet.
So here's some other anomalies. She was given a room without giving any identification or upfront payment, which is a high-end hotel. This is like procedure. You don't really give. They had like royalty stay here. They had heads of state. They had visiting like pop stars. Like this is not a place where you just kind of waltz in. They're
Hmm.
very strict about security. They had a strict rule about showing your passport. So this was just really abnormal. All they did find, as far as identifying information, was what was entered on the registration card when she checked into the hotel. And that was the name Jennifer Fairgate, is what she gave.
Sounds like a celebrity.
It does, doesn't it? But it doesn't it also sound like a fake name?
Ooh.
Jennifer Fairgate, with a date of birth of August 28th, 1973, which would have made her about 21 years old. They had a phone number on the registration card, which was an area code in Belgium, and they had her address, which was a small village in Belgium. So police, they need to figure out who this is and who to contact. So they inform Interpol Belgium. They send an urgent memo. They want to notify this woman's family, but Belgian authorities say there's no such woman who lives in Belgium. No
Hmm.
Jennifer Fairgate.
Hmm.
Huh?
Also, Jennifer Fairgate does not. I call me crazy. Sounds more like an American name than a Belgian name. So I feel like immediately
Doesn't it just?
I would have been like, even if she lives in Belgium, I would wonder, does she have like Is she there on a travel trip? Like, what's going on?
And then if so, where's her passport? Okay. Because if you're from Belgium and you're going to Norway, you need a passport.
Yeah, either
You
way.
can't just,
Yeah,
it just doesn't make any
that's a
sense.
good point.
So Belgian authorities are like, we have no idea who this is. So they look for fingerprints in her room and they only find fingerprints of this woman. They ran those through Interpol. It came up empty. Looking through her registration info, they found that 3 days before arriving at the hotel, she had called to inform staff that she would be traveling with someone named Louis Fairgate.
Okay.
So it's spelled Lois on all the forms, but some things just some of the names just seem misspelled. So I don't know if this is meant to be Lois, like which is often in the US at least
A
the
woman.
feminized version of Louis, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, but it looks to be spelled Lois. I don't know if it's different over there, the naming conventions, but they say Lewis when they're talking about it on talking about the case, like the detectives and the journalists. But I don't know if it was meant to be Lois or Lewis. But
Sure.
either way, she said it was a Lewis Fairgate. And remember, they went to a room. There was no sign of another person. They fingerprinted the whole room. There were no other fingerprints in there. And the police are starting to feel a little uneasy because they hear from one staff member that this woman remembered seeing a man standing with a woman during check-in, but then not again after that.
Hmm.
So now we're not sure if this is just like some we don't know. We don't know. Aside from the registration card and this kind of hazy memory of the employee, there is no confirmed evidence that a person named Lewis or Lois Fairgate ever appeared at the hotel. No hotel staff could confirm, like, prove that they saw anybody else associated with the room. Nobody like room service. Everybody in that kind of position said she was alone. So we don't know. We do know though that they set the room up for two. So
Okay.
she had called, said, I'm traveling with someone. And so when they took a look at the scene, there were two duvets, but one was folded up and placed
Mm,
aside, right? Like
interesting.
there was there were like his and hers style, like accessories that clearly the hotel had prepped for two people.
And we don't know if this Lewis character is like supposed to be her husband or her brother. Because I mean,
No
if they're having the
clue.
same last name, I guess the assumption would be that they're related. But then again, like you and I have used fake names in hotels, and I could see
Right.
two people using just the same last name just so they don't have to get confused about stuff. Like
Or like pretending to be a couple
or
or who
pretending to
knows.
be a
Yeah.
couple. Yeah, okay. I just didn't know if we
We
knew.
don't know. We have no clue. We have nothing other than Lewis/Lois Fairgate, uh, and then maybe a hazy memory of a man standing there,
Okay.
but that's it. Um, so officials weren't sure quite what to do. They kept her body for 1 year in case anyone came forward to identify her. And then in 1996, a year later, they gave her a simple burial and buried her. And with that, they kind of determined it had been a suicide. They were like, we don't really know what else to do at this point.
It does feel like a dead
Maybe
end. I mean,
it
it
does.
feels weird, but no other solid answers.
It's like too many weird things happening in the big picture, but then like one by one, you could probably discount
Uh,
them all. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know usually I'm the one like interrupting your stories and telling you my thoughts, but like at this point in your research, what did you think had happened?
I was weirded out because I'm thinking, okay, this case specifically weirds me out because I finally figured out why. I think it's because it takes place in 95. This young woman is like 21. She's basically like all my aunts' ages. And I would visit a lot during that time and just like seeing the crime scene pictures, seeing photos of this woman and sketches of her. I'm like, she looks like my family members. It's
Yeah.
so weird. Like it looks like my mom in the 90s.
Mm.
Um, so it's just like really unsettling to me. And there's something about the fake name and the fake address and the fake phone number. I'm like, there's something shady going on here.
Mhm.
Like, I think this is way too many red flags, is and I think it was like a targeted thing, but I don't know why. Maybe like, I'm thinking spy is frankly where my
Oh
head is
shit,
at.
I hadn't even thought of spy.
But then the second I hear tags removed, I'm like spy because that's such a common. trope, right? Like Somerton Man, they cut the tags
Yeah.
out. That's when we had that conversation.
Yes. No, I didn't even think about that. I'm still in the, like, someone
I remember going, and then all the tags were removed, and you were like, "Uh-huh." And I was like, "You're supposed to go, what?" And you were like,
I
"No."
think it to me, I take all my tags out, so I was
It's
just
just
like,
so crazy to me. I'm like, I would never I
"No."
take Leona's tags out, like, if they're, like, scratchy, but
No, they all feel scratchy to me, so I was just like, "Well, I'll just take them all out." And now I don't even test to see if they're scratchy or not, it's just a habit to just rip it out before I even put the shirt on for the first time.
wow.
I know. But I guess, like, even the tags that were, like, sewn in and wouldn't be scratchy,
Yeah,
if
these
those
are,
are removed,
like
that's odd. That is odd.
yeah, like, these were, like, specifically yeah, 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 like, all identifying any sort of label, any identifying label had been removed.
I think
Um,
that's an interesting twist. Okay.
yeah, it's odd. Yeah, it's odd. And then the fact, of course, that there are no pants or skirts in the room. It's just like,
Yeah,
"What
but
the
even
fuck?"
spies need pants. I mean, like,
No,
what?
I know. That's why I'm like, "W someone else is involved here."
And a
I think
toothbrush.
someone
Can you
else
imagine
is
a
involved.
stinky breath spy? You're not a good spy. You
For
have to blend in
3
and be
days.
clean.
They'll smell you coming, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they will. Yeah, so that's where I was at this point. Like, someone else she's being shady, someone else being shady. I don't think this was a suicide, is my gut. But again, I was also watching Unsolved Mysteries, so it's like I've been primed for
It's
that.
also not my gut, but I also don't know what I like. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket yet.
You're
But
right.
also, like, could there have been a mental health situation where, like, she
Oh,
just
absolutely.
didn't bring documents and didn't bring pants and didn't bring a toothbrush? And yeah, so that could
And
also
like
be it.
in I listened to kind of last minute, I found a Crime Junkie episode about this, and I'm glad I listened because Ashley Flowers thing and reached out to the guy, like this guy that I'm going to talk about, who the journalist who like has basically worked on this case for decades,
Love that.
and like got additional information from him directly with some of these questions that like I had, like, well, what about this tag or what about that?
Yeah.
And I feel like it was a really good fill in. So I want to point that out too because I make mention of some of those facts.
Love that.
Um, but yeah, so they determine it had been a suicide after all. They do a burial. They thought perhaps she was depressed, right? And Occam's razor, maybe, should the deadbolt was locked. She had a do not disturb sign on. She hadn't paid her bill. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So we never know, of course, what someone is going to do when they're planning on taking their own life. There's no way to say, like, oh, this isn't normal behavior, or that's not normal behavior before suicide. However, they were sure to mention some of the oddities. Like, she had recently just taken a shower. She was actually wearing like really nice clothes and looked like she was about to go out. Like, she was wearing high heels, um, like a black skirt. She was wearing like these knee high like stockings and a blazer. Like, she just looked really polished and well dressed. Um, and then the weapon is something is up with this weapon. So this 9 millimeter Browning pistol, interestingly made in Belgium, traced back
Hmm.
to Belgium.
Okay. So something's from Belgium.
Something's from Belgium, and this pistol is like a really powerful weapon, and it's usually used. Okay, so this is one thing that also Crime Junkie mentioned is like you think of guns and like here in the US we're like, "Oh, well she had a gun." Okay. Who doesn't, right? I
Hmm.
mean, I don't, but you know what I mean? Like it's just kind of when you hear this, but that's not really a commonplace thing, right? Like in it's much more structured and organized over there and a lot more restrictions. And so the fact that she had this like pistol is rather unusual because this is usually a gun that's meant for law enforcement. Um, Usually, if you have a gun, you're going hunting or you're going to a gun range, but it's unusual for like just a citizen to have this weapon, especially with the serial number like removed, like
Hmm.
professionally removed. The other odd thing is they open her briefcase and there's no ID, anything like that. There are 25 rounds of ammunition though.
Okay.
And it's odd, right? Like it doesn't necessarily mean anything by itself, but it's odd to go, I would imagine, to a hotel with 25 rounds of
Yeah.
ammo.
You don't need 25 chances at this, you know?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And one thing they mentioned as well in the episode, which I didn't see elsewhere, so I'm not sure, must have just missed it, but there was apparently a second shot a shot. I guess it's not the second shot. It would be the first shot, like a test shot almost into the pillow behind her, as if
Uh,
she were like,
that's
they think she
bold.
was like testing the gun.
Okay.
But it also like someone would have heard that, right?
Right.
And also like,
And
I
like
don't know.
some if no one heard it, that means it happened a lot earlier than it must have happened as soon as she got checked in, because if she checked in and then not too long later a guy's coming up asking for her payment, it had to happen like pretty immediately, right?
What do you mean?
Like how long was she in the hotel from checking
Three
it? Oh,
days.
3 days. Okay. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't know. I guess she did have time to test it out, but why would like but then why would you go to bed the next
Well, I
day
think
and
they mean they're implying that it was tested out right before,
but my
like
thought is the guy.
bang to test the gun and then like
I guess
bang.
so. I mean, I get that, but I also feel like that if that guy was coming up and walking to her door and right before he walked in heard the bang, I feel like he wouldn't have been so far away he wouldn't have heard the initial bang too, right? I guess
Yeah,
we'll
it's a
never
little.
know.
I mean, you could just be like, "Oh, the or front desk is sending someone up,"
Yeah.
and then before you even, but and then like hesitating until there's a knock at the door.
Sure.
Which I also had that thought of
That's a
like
great point.
my gut instinct, which is like probably nothing, and there's no proof of this, but like my gut instinct is almost like a startle response, right? Like someone
Oh.
knocks and you're like startled. I don't know. I mean, it was clearly through the forehead, so it's not like this was an
Right. Or
accident, but
but it could have been a panic moment of like it's now or never.
right. That's kind of where my because
That's
I'm
a
like
great
right
point.
after the knocking, the bang happens. Like that's just such an odd thing.
Yeah. Although I wonder if it was a suicide, why would she agree to the like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna handle the payment with you? Like I feel like she
I
would
mean,
have
probably
just
just to
ignored
be
that.
to dismiss it. I don't know.
Oh, sure.
Maybe like to avoid them coming up to her room. I don't know. I don't know.
That's I hmm.
It's odd though.
I see your argument on like why it could even like the spy theory, but this also feels very um chaotically put together. It does not feel organized like what a spy would know how to do it or would want to do it. I don't know. It feels like I feel like she would like know like gun safety more than being startled.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying. But if she
Um
were a spy, then she wouldn't presumably be killing herself. You know what I mean? Like this would have been set up.
yeah, unless she
So
was just she needed out of the game. Uh,
she was a depressed
I
spy.
don't know. I
Okay.
have no
Now
idea.
this feels like now
We're really getting crazy.
it's
Okay, 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 okay.
mixing up theories. So they find 25 rounds of ammo in the briefcase, which is like, whoa, there's no skirt or dress, but there's no
What a
toothbrush,
gun.
but there's 25 rounds of ammo. It's just like startling, is strange. Now, the first thing I noticed when I saw the evidence photo, which maybe this is a sign to trust my gut, but I thought it, and then I was like, maybe I just don't know anything, and I don't know anything. But that being said, I did notice that her hand holding the pistol looked funny. Like I was like, she's holding it weird. And then I flipped my laptop to like look at the image, like I paused it and turned it, and I was like, oh, she has her thumb on the trigger. So it's
Oh,
like this. I hate to be like reenact. I'm
right.
not trying to like reenact what, but like they
So
she had her thumb on the trigger facing the pistol toward herself,
yeah. So it
and
would
it had
make
a slightly downward entry and exit into her skull.
I'm like doing it with my own hands. Yes, I mean I guess someone at least set it up to look like a suicide if it wasn't one.
Yeah, well, so it's odd, and like the way that they have her holding the gun in that picture. Oh, I have a picture of it. I'm sorry, I meant to send you. This is important.
This is so a nothing thing, but if I were Olivia Benson or my neighbor Danny Pino, I
Your neighbor Danny Pino,
um
Detective Amaro, your neighbor.
my neighbor, I would be really curious as to why she hung up her coats in the closet. I just feel like there's something there and I know that's silly, but like you couldn't even pack pants but you're hanging your jackets. Like and also if you were just packing a bag just to like look like you had a packed bag and then you were going to go and hurt yourself, you wouldn't like hang your jackets up.
You might though. See, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes people just go through a rote routine, and it's like if that's how you do it every time you
Maybe.
go into a room, you know what I mean? But I also agree with you that like it doesn't make sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense that you wouldn't have any pants. But then like the idea is somebody tampered with the scene
Right,
or like
right.
removed them. So I just sent you a picture of her holding the gun, and it like
Oof.
it's yeah, it's upsetting. But it like do you see how her hand is on the trigger
Yeah,
or her thumb is on the trigger?
yeah.
So I it's just odd, right? And the people who've looked at this and like the ballistics experts, all these people, they're like that's unusual. Now the other thing is strange is that there's no blood on her hand at all, like not a
Oh, well,
spot of
that'll
blood.
do it.
Isn't that strange? And like of
That's
course
strange.
most of the blood would go back, but
Something there'd be residue for sure.
or residue, something like that. So here's the chief pathologist at Oslo University Hospital said, quote, "This could have been a suicide except for the fact that there were no blood spots on her hand." He explained that now I want to give I know we've been talking about suicide, but I want to give a trigger warning of like specifics here.
Mhm.
Um in suicide by gunshot cases, he noted that people are usually very shaky. Ugh, this part really was upsetting. And he said they will often put their left hand over the barrel to keep it steady.
Oh, okay.
And the hands usually have, at the very least, gunshot powder, if not blood, bruising. I mean, they showed a hand that had done something similar with a pistol and had died, someone who had died the same way
And the
and
recoil or
by suicide. And the recoil is so strong on this kind of a gun that their hand is like black and blue. They got blood on it.
yeah.
Not only that, but it was in her hand resting, like, on her chest. It wasn't the recoil alone, they shoot the gun
Wouldn't it
in
have
the Unsolved
flown in the
Mysteries.
air or something?
It, like, pushes this man I mean, it's a heavy duty thing. So they that found it extremely odd as well that, like, the gun just rested calmly in her hand. It's possible, right? Like, all of this stuff is technically possible, but then if you look at her hand in that, it's, like, pristine, you know?
Yeah, it's, like,
It's
very,
completely clean.
very well placed and totally on yeah, and they didn't do any gunpowder residue
So,
stuff?
according to so what I saw was that there didn't appear to be any, and I don't think they did as extensive testing as maybe they should have on
Sure.
a lot of this stuff. They tested her, for example, for alcohol, but not drugs. Like there are a lot of things that
Hmm.
shoulda, coulda, woulda. Like the freaking CCTV. Like it just makes me crazy. But we don't have it. So yeah, we don't know. There appears to be no blood on the gun. There actually was no blood on the gun. There appears to be no gunshot residue on her hands, no blood on her hands. It's just odd. Now, decades later, this journalist that I was going to mention, Lars, he's like one of these guys where you're like, oh yeah, he's got it. He's gonna fucking nail this someday. But he's been working on it for decades.
Wow.
And he kept getting drawn back to the story. So he actually covers missing persons in Norway and um, uh, unknown identities of like Jane Doe's, John Doe's, that kind of thing,
Mhm.
in Norway. And he had written a series about several people, including this woman, and he kept getting drawn back to the story. So decades later, he went in 2016 to the small town in Belgium,
Oh, wow.
which is a real place. It's called Verlaine, and it is a really small town in Belgium. And the country code or the local area code she used did match up to the area.
Hmm.
And there was a street with the address, not with the address number, but there was the street that she mentioned. Everything seemed like she knew of the area pretty familiar. She was very
Okay.
familiar with it. Like to use it as like a fake thing,
Right, it's like a nuanced experience that
it's
she
very
seems to
nuanced.
have, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, you have the Belgian gun, whatever. But so they found the man who was mayor in 1995, and they said, "Can you take a look at this sketch of this woman? And do you recognize her?" First they asked, "Do you know everyone in town?" He's like, "Oh, I know everyone in town. He's the mayor, right?" Like, of course he knows everyone in town.
It also, like first of all, it's an impossible question to ask a mayor, like, to be like, "You must know everybody," as if that's part of his job description, but it's also, like, so embarrassing anyway as a mayor to be like, "No, I don't know everyone." And
Right. And
like
he's like the exact type of mayor where you're like, "Oh boy, here we go." And he's like, I built a house next to my parents." And he's going on and on in French. And I'm like, okay, they asked you a simple question, but
yes or no, man,
but yeah,
yeah.
he's clearly mayor. Like
He's
he's like, I've lived here my
he's
whole
Doug
life.
Dimmadome, yeah, he's like
He's Doug Dimmadome. That's right. and Doug Dimmadome in French, whatever that is. And
Dougie.
he Dougie
Sorry, go ahead.
Douge
Doom de la Dibba. I don't know.
Douge de la
Doug Dibba. I owner of the Homesdale Dimmadome. I don't
Douge
fucking
de
know.
la Dimmadome. Okay. Please, everybody, relax. All right, I'm sending you this sketch that they showed the mayor, and they said we've had these made
Oh.
up based on, you know,
He.
reconstructing, and
She?
the mayor said,
This is her?
"Oh, she, yeah, yes."
Oh.
They show it to the mayor, and the mayor's like, "I have no clue who this is."
Yeah.
So
It's a little. I don't know. Gender neutral. I kind of love it. I mean, the vibe.
maybe that's why it looks like all my aunts and my like many gay aunts and
I mean,
and
does look like
although it's
someone's
very
gay
90s
aunt.
style, right? Like it. Okay, let me get a. Maybe there's a better, more.
The pixie cut.
Here, I'll get a better picture.
The outfit is interesting. Maybe it is just a 90s look, but it does feel
I
like
think it is a 90s look. I really do.
she's swimming in that jacket. And where's her little skirt? I'm looking for the skirt. If this is what she looks like, though, the sketch artist did an incredible job. This is very detailed.
I don't know if I want to show you the picture.
That's okay. Don't. I mean, I got the general image down. Looks like a non-binary person. Sorry. Short, spiky black hair, blue eyes. Really likes to wear black. Kind of like a chic vibe.
Yes, very like the leather jacket, the black skirt, the pencil skirt, the
Yeah.
heels.
Strong jaw.
What if I
jaw.
sent you a picture of her face, but there's nothing like
Whatever you want to do.
grim on? Okay, I don't want to like.
Oh,
This is like
yuck. I see what you mean.
Sorry.
Oh, that's
sorry.
that's an intense.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
I shouldn't have sent you that.
It's weird.
Yeah,
We have
so
a true crime podcast. I'm gonna see true crime stuff sometimes. Okay, so it does still look like her.
Yeah, and this is not anything graphic, but this is a picture of how they found her in the room.
Okay, I see.
Like to give you an idea, her legs were hanging off the bed, like over the edge.
And she was dressed up as if she had somewhere to go.
She was
Although
dressed
I
up.
will say, isn't it common for a lot of people who die this
I
way
don't think
to
that's an uncommon thing.
to
Yeah,
like dress up for the event? You know,
I think it's like to be found in a dignified way. You know what I mean?
I see.
Typically,
I see.
but I also don't think that that's what you do in a gunshot case because that's not going to be that's going to be.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, there's.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around it. All I know is that
I don't feel I can speak.
I've
on
heard
it,
of people. If we're trying to still make the argument for it being a suicide, her being dressed up could be a point either way.
Yeah, and like what they made a good point too on Crime Junkie of like, well, maybe she gave away the clothes, right? Like, oh, I don't need these anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like maybe she gave away her clothes, but then also it's like. I don't know. Still, then you're like, why not the shirts? I don't know.
Right.
It's just odd. It's just odd.
Well, now seeing the face next to these sketch drawings, I mean, it is a pretty accurate drawing.
It's hard to say. I think I had seen so many like actual images that when I saw the sketch, I was like, oh yeah, I can see it. But you're right. As a sketch, just by itself, it's hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like a black spiky short hair kind of look. Yeah, the nose. Yeah, I mean, it looks like her.
So they show this to this mayor. He has no clue who she is. So they're thinking this is probably not like this is probably not a person from here, but she's clearly familiar enough to put. They find the street, but then she had put like 145 or something the address, and it only went up to 99 or something like that. Like she also put a place of work that didn't exist. Like it's just odd. And the fact that it was such a small town, and everything kind of correlated was strange. And like my gut in that instance is like either childhood place or like a family member was from there, or
Right.
I don't know. Like it feels like she had enough information to like fake it a little bit, but not.
It was significant in some way.
Yeah, like more than you would just off the cuff, you know. So the journalist I mentioned, he is named Lars Christian Wegner, and he put together a timeline of the key card entries into the room.
Okay.
So we don't have exits, right? Because you don't use your card, but we do have entries.
Okay.
Police stated they believed she'd spent most of the time in her room, like preparing for suicide, because there were not many keycard entries noted. But the log, like I said, doesn't account for exiting the room. And housekeeping was actually there Thursday, which was the day after she checked in,
Okay.
and the room was completely empty when they were there. So they cleaned.
Oh, okay.
And no one entered the room until no key card wise, nobody entered the room until the next morning, which would make 20 hours of empty space.
Okay. So she could have gone out, met a friend, stayed over there instead, or
Something
I'm
like
trying
that.
to think.
But
Yeah.
we have no idea.
Yeah.
We have no idea. So then they interviewed a leader within the Norwegian intelligence service. I want to mention, I want to mention before I forget that one of the housekeepers had mentioned actually that she saw a pair of shoes in the room.
Okay.
And she said she remembers cleaning. This is like when she was interviewed later. She remembers cleaning and she remembers seeing the shoes because she thought those are really cute. I would love those. And she noted the brand and she said they were colorful. Um, but when they found this woman's body, the shoes were not in the room. So just another odd thing. So there were things in
Oh,
the room that then were not in the room later when her body was found, if that makes sense.
that is interesting.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So they talked to Norwegian intelligence, and during this time, actually, in this hotel, there were pretty regularly top secret negotiation meetings with like political figures, intelligence agencies. Uh, Apparently, this was where Israeli and Palestinian authorities would meet
Hmm. Okay.
and like stay at this hotel. So it's not unusual for them to have very high profile guests. But again, it's a little odd then that they didn't ask for a passport or a payment form
Right. And
before
also,
checking in.
if she were a spy, I would imagine it's very easy for her to just give them a fake passport, even like do whatever you need to do. But like she would know to have at least fake paperwork versus no
So she
paperwork.
had actually put, I believe she had put a number, a passport number in the registration form,
Oh, right.
but never shown an ID. Like something odd like that. But then again, it was like that's fake then, right?
Okay.
'Cause everything else is fake. So I don't know. Like either someone took it or maybe she didn't have one. Um, but so our friend Lars, the journalist, who Ashley's friend Lars, he's going through the details and showing this spy guy who's like this Norwegian intelligence guy. And he basically is like, I'll stop you right there. I do not think this was a suicide. And Lars is like, oh, okay. And he says, quote, from my point of view, this is a very well carried out intelligence operation. I have a feeling that she was executed.
Okay.
What the fuck? So I guess I'll just go through some of the like shit. Uh, More or less, he says it's impossible to shoot yourself in the head in this way.
Right.
Whatever. He said the serial number was removed in a professional way. The tags is taking out the tags is normal intelligence procedure. We've got her absences from the hotel, which mark like a second place to go. He goes, the door being double locked from the inside means nothing. Quote, professional intelligence organizations have no problems with opening doors. There's no closed door for intelligence, which is like the scariest sentence
Whoa.
I've ever heard.
There's no closed
Uh,
door for intelligence.
I like that gives me like big watchful eye, big brother energy.
On
Like it's
I'm on a spy
unsettling.
TikTok and this like whistleblower spy
Yeah, because
TikTok.
you keep removing tags from your fucking clothes and they're like, we know you.
Well, the way that they've let me know that every single way that I feel safe in my fortified home is
Oh
absolutely
no.
just like a
Be
facade.
careful. Yeah, and then you put a thumb drive of rockabilly
I,
music in your computer.
great callback. No, that they were saying something recently about like, oh yeah, any car from this year and more from this year on, like I forget what the year was. They're all just computers that can be accessed at any point. So like if they want to make
Oh,
you
like
look like you
hacked.
drove into a street sign or drive into traffic, that's possible. And I was very proud of my 2015 Subaru. I
Yeah,
was
that's
like,
when you're like, I'm not
woo!
getting rid of this
Yeah.
bad boy.
Yeah. Can't get me. Okay.
And you're like, I'm old
You
school.
can get me
Yeah.
every other way, but not in my car.
Can't get me except on TikTok.
Yeah.
So basically he's like, there's no locked door for us, don't worry. And he
Horrible.
said it's nearly impossible to tell if anyone fucked with the lock. Like they would just know how to do that. And like in my opinion, as I think about this, I'm like they'd have somebody in the hotel who can just let them in. They'd have somebody at the hotel who says, Oh, yeah, I'll cover for her, she doesn't need a passport. I don't know, that's my gut is, like, clearly
Sure.
this if it is a spy thing, I think all this is plausible, right? Because suddenly it's like all the normal shit is out the window. Of course, they don't have security footage. Of course, she didn't need a passport. Of course, she didn't need like, there's if it is a spy thing, I'm like, there's stuff behind the scenes that
Yeah.
you can't explain.
Sure.
So, in his opinion, he thinks those 15 minutes where nobody was guarding the room is when somebody either cleaned up and left, took her bag.
And if it's a real spy operation, someone could have pretended to be a cleaning lady or something and just
Mhm.
walked in and just, "Oh, I'm cleaning."
Totally. So, I meant to mention this up top. I'm so sorry I didn't. I was in the wrong version of my notes, but when Lars later went and spoke to he finds these people, like, he's a sleuth, okay? He gets out there, he
Love.
finds the room service person and talks to her. And she remembers dropping off the food and mistake actually, I don't know if this is one Lars spoke to or one that was interviewed by police. Either way, the room service staff member drops off the food, which is that picture I showed you earlier, mistakenly and remembers mistakenly knocking on the wrong door at first, which was the room across the hall, 2806.
Mm.
They got to Jennifer's room. Eventually, they figured out the right room number. She opened her door and she was wearing, according to the staff member, like a business skirt, business outfit. The woman said she looked almost like a flight attendant, was her first gut instinct, like the
Ah.
black heels, like the pencil skirt, that kind of vibe. And she said she had a suitcase and there was no suitcase found at the scene. So it's like, well,
You know what I bet was in that suitcase when it went mysteriously, when it vanished, was those other colorful shoes that someone really liked.
I'm saying, and all the skirts and pants that she probably didn't hang up because they're not blouses, right? Like you hang up a blouse and a leather jacket, but probably not like a pair of pants necessarily.
So is the thought then that someone came in, shot her, and then something must have been in the suitcase and they just grabbed the whole
Mhm.
thing and left?
Mhm.
Okay.
I believe so. I mean, I think
Sounds right
that's
to
the
me.
one of the running theories, yeah. Um,
Isn't it crazy that, like, we could have avoided a lot? Like, this feels like, although in some ways really good spy work, it also feels like really sloppy spy work. Like, why wouldn't you just leave the suitcase? Like, go through with gloves on, whatever you need to find in that suitcase, and then just leave
well,
the
because they
suitcase.
heard someone at the door. They had to get the fuck out of there.
Oh, right. Okay, I
So
see.
there was
You're
time is of the essence.
totally missed that part.
And also, if they sent up a thing and someone was in the room with her, they could have said, "Sure, yeah, confirm. Totally, we'll pay the bill."
Right.
I don't know,
I mean, that's a
and
great
then
point too. It's like, "Oh, no, I got it." Yeah.
in those 15 unaccounted for minutes that we never get surveillance footage of, they could have just waltzed right out of there, used a master key, locked the door.
So then what do you think is earlier gunshot to the pillow? Do you think, like, he missed?
I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. That's a good question. And into a pillow would be quieter, but
Yeah.
not silent. But the people next door, who Lars also found, said they were out to dinner that evening, so they wouldn't have heard anything anyway.
Which also feels a little perfectly timed. Like, why would you, as a enemy spy, wouldn't you wanna know that other people aren't around so it won't get reported? I feel like everyone was kinda getting watched on that floor to see when the perfect time would be to make a move. Or am I overthinking it?
Wait, what do you mean? Sorry, on which
So
like as the
the people next door who were out of the room when this happened, I feel like
Mhm.
that's pretty convenient timing, unless the guy who maybe shot this woman knew that they would also be gone. Like, I
Well,
feel
it's
like,
a Saturday night at a hotel, like, to go out for
oh,
dinner,
could have just probably guessed.
It was a couple, and they were interviewed, and they were like, "We went out for dinner with friends or whatever, like, we came back, and there was crime scene tape, and we didn't even know what happened until we watched the news a few days later."
But I feel like the killer probably also was watching them and everything just to make sure that the exact
Oh,
moment was
oh.
right of like, well, no one's here. Like, I feel like there was a
Yeah.
lot of monitoring.
Well,
So I
you would have to, right? It feels like a spy it does feel like a spy movie, right? Where you would, like, escape out the stairwell and make sure no one's tune into the camera and see that no one's coming down the hallway. Like, yeah, it does feel
which also in my mind makes me feel like I'm running with the spy theory fully now, by the way. That
it's hard not to, honestly.
I feel like then they were probably dressed as a cleaning lady to be able to check all the rooms and make sure nobody was around.
True point.
I know that's like a silly little thing, but I would, if I were on a mission to do this thing and I didn't want to get caught and I'm in a very public space like a hotel, I would want to know every floor near me
But then why
is
wait until right when the guy knocks?
yeah, I don't
And
know.
also,
I'm
like,
that's a
you
good
don't
point.
have to kill her at that second. You can just not answer the door.
I wonder if someone was already in there though and like holding her hostage or something and like it
But
was
that's
like
what I mean. Like, wouldn't you just wait?
yeah, I don't know. Fuck.
And there's no sign of a struggle, so she could have been drugged, right? And like
Mm.
incapacitated in some way before
And they didn't test for
being shot.
drugs.
Nope.
Fuck,
It's like
Christine.
infuriating. It's crazy making. Okay, so this is the last thing I want to mention. Um, so Lars asked this intelligence guy, like, what do you think it is? And he said, I can't imagine it's anything but a professional job, a professional hit. But the thing that nags at Lars is like, how is she able to get into this hotel with no ID, no passport? But like, then I'm also like, that seems like it would be part of the intelligence
Mhm.
operation. Like, somebody would have the strings to pull. If we're talking Israeli
Yeah.
Palestinian heads of state are staying at this place, I'm not saying they're doing anything, but I'm saying if she has some ties to some security force, I'm sure that they're able to provide her with whatever
Yeah.
fake passport, ID, whatever.
That part, although
Um,
curious, is the least of my concerns. Like, I'm
yeah,
like,
yes,
that one I could
agreed.
explain away pretty
That
quickly
one
with
I
my
feel is explainable. And also apparently it was like extremely busy this time of day. Like he's like, it's also could just be an oversight. Like they were like, we'll get your passport later,
it
you
could
know?
also
And
be
then
like,
just
how many times have I met my mom at a hotel and she already checked in and then handed me the key? She could have just walked into that lobby and just gone to a room that was under the name whatever, Fairbanks or whatever it was.
yeah,
And it was and someone else checked in with that name, so then she wouldn't even be seen at the I don't know, it could be anything. Could be anything.
it could be. She did check in though. She was the one to check
Oh,
in.
she
I
was
do
the
know
person.
that because
Okay.
she was seen checking in and she filled in the form.
Right, right, right.
But
I am so mad.
that's all we know. Okay, so last thing I want to say, her body, they had Lars, because he's been on this awesome mission, had her body exhumed in 2016 to obtain DNA samples. So they have DNA samples. It has not matched to anyone yet, but they have it in the database if anybody, is able to put theirs in and see like, oh, finally a familial match. They did DNA analysis, which suggests European ancestry, possibly East German origin. And I will add that when she checked in, she was speaking German and English. They said she could speak German and English.
Mm, so can
And
spies.
so can spies. And like you think like 80s, East Germany, Berlin Wall,
Yeah.
Cold War. It just to me it screams spy. I know that always seems like such a stretch, but like it does. Um Despite renewed testing, no idea has been made to this day. Forensic testing suggested she may have been approximately 24 years old, but we don't know for sure. She became known as the Oslo Plaza Woman because nobody really knows who she is. And speculation about her being in the intelligence somehow is based on the alias, the clothing labels, the acid removed serial number, the very sparse belongings, the missing stuff, the lack of identity. I mean, all this weirdness. But of course, no intelligence agency has confirmed involvement. I think if they did,
Sure.
I wouldn't believe them.
Yeah.
Um, Now, this is odd. Lars went and found, it's incredible. He went and found the person who was staying across the hall from her that the night before her death.
Wow. Okay.
This guy, he calls him Mr. F because he lives in the French part of Belgium,
Okay.
French speaking part of Belgium. Calls him Mr. F because he doesn't want to dox him, I guess. And he couldn't get a hold of the guy. So he went to his house,
I didn't want to
knocked on the,
dox him, but I went to his house.
but so I went there myself. Went there and said, it's like that TikTok trend where they're like finding people who write like Nazi comments on shit and then like go
Yes.
to their house. And they're like, I could find you. Yeah, so Mr. F, he lives in Belgium. And so this guy Lars goes and finds him and he asked him about that day. And the guy, he had checked out that morning. Okay. So this happened Saturday, like afternoon, evening. He had checked out Saturday morning, but he was in room 2806 the night before,
Okay.
which was the room where the room service was accidentally almost delivered.
Okay.
Do you remember that? Like
Yeah.
she knocked at the door.
Yeah.
And he says when he checked out, so Lars said, like, "Do you know anything about the Oslo Plaza Woman?" And this guy, Mr. F, says, "Yeah, when I checked out, the people at the front desk told me about it." And Lars was like, "It hadn't happened yet."
Girl.
It's so weird. And then this guy like ghosted him. He like won't respond to him anymore.
Well, I think I mean I would be paranoid too. I'd be like, I've said too much, now I'm gonna die. Like I would back out. I would be so excited to say something and then regret it later and be like, what does this mean?
Freaky.
Especially if it's a fucking maybe spy situation and like death has already happened. Then I'd get paranoid of like, oh, maybe you were like a double person and you wanted to see if I would talk and I did, and now I would totally panic.
I'm thinking this guy's involved. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Something shady about
Oh, you
knocking
think
on
he
the
was like
door.
not telling the story
I
accurately
don't
on
know. I don't know if
purpose?
he knows something. I don't know why he's saying that they told him at the front desk
Oh,
when that's impossible because it hadn't happened yet. So how could they have told him at the front desk?
I
Like either
we're seeing it two
he
different
knew
ways.
something,
Hmm.
maybe he's like remembering, like maybe it's a false memory, like it's so many years later.
I
It's just odd.
I took it as he was the person who brought it up to him accidentally divulged um information too early, as if like it was clearly a setup and going to happen and the plan got revealed early by accident to this random guy. But you
Oh,
took
no,
it
I don't
as,
think so.
oh, he is like trying to cover his own
Cover
ass
his
and he
tracks.
gave
Yeah.
information that is contradictory.
That
Okay.
doesn't right. Yeah, that's how I took it. I
Interesting.
don't know. I think that's how Lars took it, but I mean, no, not that he's involved, but I think Lars took it as like this is an odd inconsistency that
Sure.
bears some like looking into, and the guy just won't respond. And there was nobody else staying on the other side of her. So it was just that couple who was at dinner, the guy across the hall, which feels like a clue,
It
like a
does. Yeah.
clue story. Like I across the hall with the room service. And then weirdly also there was a newspaper in her room that like every room got a newspaper delivered. And hers had a different room number on the like as if somebody brought it to the wrong room or maybe she picked it
Hmm.
up, but it only had her fingerprints and then like one other set of fingerprints on it, which I'm guessing is whoever delivers them, but it's just all a little strange, you know?
Yeah. Interesting.
Just odd. Anyway, so that's the story. I'm really hoping that like with advances in technology, they figure out who this is. Now they have a DNA profile, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I'm
That's really
surprised.
hopeful.
It also says something that nobody ever claimed to know her. Like if they knew their
I
friend was
know, it's
missing.
shocking.
So
Well, that's the other spy angle is like how do you end up and the way I should mention how the guy described how this would happen is that if you did so this sorry, I'm getting all excited. The Norwegian intelligence guy that I mentioned, who I quoted, he said the intelligence agency would have gone to the family and just say something like, "Here's some money. Your daughter is a hero. The government will take care of your family."
mm,
I'm like, "Oh, okay." And it's like basically stay quiet. We'll have you set up nicely. Your daughter died for her country. The end.
okay.
And your family wouldn't say anything. And I'm like,
Interesting.
I don't know. It's just really unsettling all of it.
Okay. Well, hey, I this feels very symbolic because just like how I keep having to sneeze and my body won't let me just have the relief, this whole story, I just need the release of the information. And
I
I'm just going to
know.
sit here feeling like stuffed up or backed up and be like,
You're waiting for the beat to drop.
yeah, I'm going to be thinking about this all day. Um,
It is, and no
this,
wonder why Lars got kind of like drawn back into it
I
because
get
it's
it.
like it's very alluring and like a scare. And there's so many more details. Like I won't get to everything, but because I can't. But like the watch she was wearing, and they auctioned it off, but they have um pictures of it. And so like he was looking into like the battery specifically had a W on it. And in German, the word Wechseln is sometimes put on a battery to say like it was changed on this date, like the battery was
Oh,
replaced on
wow.
this date. And like just things where it's like, oh, and she spoke German. So maybe that's it. Like
Like,
you get down these rabbit holes that are just so wild
what a
on
skill
like a
set.
watch battery,
I
you
want
know?
Lars to come looking for me if something ever happens. Like,
Oh,
who
I'll
is
send
this
him.
man?
Don't you
Who
worry.
is this man?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I think my favorite category of stories you cover is mysteries in a hotel room.
They're really creepy.
because you'll never know. It was behind a closed door.
I mean, you did one last week of that guy falling down the fucking
Already forgot. What?
into an alley
Oh, yeah,
out
yeah,
of the
yeah, 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 yeah.
window. Like, what the fuck? That was creepy too. Like, all these are really creepy.
Yeah, and that was odd as well. But
Also, like Elisa Lamb, like it's just the hotel ones just somehow are
Miss
they're like sinister.
mysteries at the hotel really get me because every single one of them, I feel like
Yeah.
I am going to solve this, and by the end, I go, nope,
Oh, if only.
if
If
only.
only. Well, thank you everyone for listening. I've just taken up a lot of time. I'm sorry, but we're happy you're here. We're happy you're around. And I don't know. I'm gonna go pee again. Probably. I got this big bee, and you better go lay in it.
I better go, better go
What
lay
is
in it.
it?
I
Lay
think
on
that's
it.
what it was. Yeah.
Go
Uh,
lay on it. Go
go
back and lay
go
on it.
back and lay on it. Still sounds so odd. But I am. Thank you everybody, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully with not one that's so long, but I guess this one was for the cleaners and the road trippers. So
Yes, 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 yes. And the fall
and the
asleepers.
fall sleepers. And
That's
why
we.
drink.